everyone, welcome back to Exploring the Backrooms, episode 56. Today, it seems like we're going to be exploring what seems to be the copy of a furniture store. Really exciting stuff here. I hope nothing crazy comes out and attacks me. That would be really scary and spooky and weird. I'm going to bring an old VHS camera into this one for no reason, obviously. It's not in the 1990s like other things that you might have seen, but it looks cool. It looks scary, right? Yeah, that was a stupid bit. I thought of that in the shower this morning, and I was like, I'm just going to commit with that. really, really bad. Maybe if I put any effort into it than saying it monotone, that would have come across, like, slightly funny, but...
I think that's the problem. I think you didn't believe in the bit, Zach.
No, dude, I thought of it, and I was like, that's the dumbest thing ever, but I'm going to commit to it. And then, as I was telling you guys about it, I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever thought of in my life. So, just zero commitment from my end.
You're too far into it, though, so that's why you continued after the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You just got sadder and sadder the further you got into it.
Yeah, just as it went, I looked at Austin's face, and he just kind of like dropped into a frown, and I was like, this sucks.
What? I'm not a frown. Maybe it was.
I might have imagined it. I don't know.
Did I show my emotions on my face? I felt bad for you. It wasn't like I don't like this.
No, dude, that makes it worse. You can't feel bad for me. No. Oh. That.
Honestly, like half of the summary.
In a way, yeah, kind of.
Might as well finish it.
Shut up! No, we have rules for a reason, Chandler. It is Austin's turn to do the summary. I forgot the rest of the intro. We're doing a Backrooms movie today, directed by Kane Parsons, Mr. 20-year-old boy. I'm also a boy, so it's fine for me to call him that. We don't have experiences to be men. But as usual, Chandler, Scott, Austin, Zach, right down here. Stay tuned till afterwards if you want to hear some movie news or other things that we watched since last recording. Me and Skylar have something to discuss specifically with Austin. I don't know if Chandler has seen it or whatever, but me and Skylar saw something in the last week that we would like to talk about. You know what? I'm going to say it right off the bat just because I know it's kind of clickbaity and I know that someone might be interested in what it is. Hey, you listening, audience member, you listening, me and Skylar are going to talk about Obsession. If you want to hear that, stay tuned to the end. Stay tuned to the end. Austin, don't get excited yet.
I planned on cutting off my entire what we watch and just to do that.
Oh, really? That's fair, yeah. I don't really have I have one other thing.
Chan, let's go.
Hey, Chandler, have you seen it?
I'm just so devastated. Like, I'll get to that later because it's really like, whenever we get to the Obsession bit, I'll explain my emotions right now.
It's tragic.
Surely we will spend almost an entire podcast talking about that movie. So skip to the end of the podcast. Actually, don't skip. Listen to the Backrooms talk. Listen to us talk about the movie, and then listen to us talk about Obsession, because that's the entire point. All right, Austin, take it away. Oh, wait, Cassie's not here because she's at a wedding. Sorry for not saying that earlier. All right, go ahead.
Not
Austin.
her wedding.
Okay, yes, not her wedding. Yeah,
I didn't want the comments to be like Cassie. Where was this all over?
Or they could have been like, congratulations, Cassie, and she could have just got free congratulations.
That's literally.
Yeah, you just put out some of the comments we could have gotten.
What the heck, Sky? No, I'm kidding. That was kind. All right, go ahead, Austin.
Yeah, I feel like I can do this pretty quickly, but Guy, 5 sentences, that's what we said?
Yeah.
I thought it was 3 for some reason, but
if you do it in 3
tries. A furniture store who goes to therapy finds out that there's an entrance to this place called the Backrooms in his furniture store / house, because that's where he sleeps and lives now. He tries exploring it and thinks telling his therapist is a good idea for some reason, that it exists when having absolutely no proof. He gets lost in it with his 2 employees. The one is an employee, the one's a photographer guy. Therapist comes in and he tries to feed her people. And that's about it.
Aww.
At least as far as I understand.
I just realized something. I actually had Marvel Rivals up in the background for like the last 4 minutes, so there's a solid chance they might hear the Thing doing his idol animation for the first like 4 minutes of the podcast.
We just keep it like that.
Yeah, you should just edit the podcast for like every now and then up until now. Just cut to your Marvel Rival gameplay. Just him just doing the
No, I wasn't ever playing it. I
Okay.
forgot. Like I look, so I have 2 audio tracks on my desktop, one for you guys, and then one for all other media. And I saw the other media one do like a little bounce for like a second, and I was like, that shouldn't be happening. What's going on in the background here? And I saw it, and then I still had Marvel Rivals open, and I was like, oh my god, that thing just emoted, and that's why it went up a little bit.
Well,
Yeah, he just went. Sorry about that. I actually didn't hear almost any of the summary because of that. I'm so sorry.
I don't think it really matters. I mean,
You're right.
guy goes in the back room, so does girl. They get fucked up.
They talk
It was
about
pretty
it.
dead on. I just wanted to add the end part of with the scientists. That was it.
Yeah.
That's why I said as far as I understand, because I need
Yeah.
to talk about that, because I don't know if that legitimately happened.
I have so
Yeah.
much information because of that, because I love Kane's
I
TV
watched
show.
3 YouTube videos and I couldn't
Dude,
find any.
He has an
explanation.
entire TV show worth of information related to async. Go ahead, Scott. Yeah.
I failed my homework.
You
Me
didn't
and
watch
Lily
it?
didn't finish all 20. We
Okay.
got to 11.
That's fine. You missed the best one though. You watched 2 of the found footage episodes, then, right? Right? No, you watched
I
one of them.
believe
Found
s-
footage 2 is, I think, 15 or something like that.
Let me double check. But
Found footage 2 is very similar
I-
to this movie. Found footage
I
3
did
is
see-
amazing.
I did see the scientists and the portal and the name for the portal and all of that.
Okay,
So I do know I got at least that far.
you saw a good amount of it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
I'm
look it up real quick to
I'm
see what.
2
it was.
behind found footage number 2.
Okay,
What are we talking about?
Kane
Yeah,
has it. So
yes.
okay, context. There is the reason
you.
why the youngest director in the history of A24 and also films is doing this movie right now is because Kane made an entire TV show for this concept called Backrooms on YouTube that
Okay.
has been coming out for like the last 6 years or something. He started it when he was
Sure.
15. The first episode came out whenever he was 15. That is so insane, and it's so well written, and there's so much detail in all of it. And dude, like I have problems with the movie, and we can talk about that in the next section. But there were so many like Marvel-y like moments for me in the movie because I watched the show, and it was like so satisfying. Like whenever the caveman cutout popped up, I don't think you got there, Skylar, but they started using the caveman towards the end of the season. And like the second he turned the corner and saw that, I was like, dude, oh my god, I can't believe they're actually connecting this into it. And then like there was the Son of Splendor he saw during the second found footage bit with him that I just kind of was like, that's a theme. We don't know fully what the theme is, but that's a theme related to it. It made me the movie. Kane did a really great job of incorporating the show into the movie while also making it so that you could watch the movie completely by itself and you're gonna have an experience. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the same experience because I literally.
You're gonna have an experience.
Well, I don't know. She liked it, but she likes most movies, so like it's impossible. I haven't talked to you guys yet, so it's impossible for me to know what the point of
Lily
view of
liked it,
someone.
and she saw 11 of them.
Yeah. I mean, technically, you still are more of a case study than what I was looking at. Someone who's never seen the show, like Austin. I'm guessing Chandler too.
I've seen clips of it though. Like I had a general understanding of the backroom, but
Yeah.
not enough to get all the Easter eggs. You're saying?
Dude,
same.
I'm just gonna start it off. At the end, when those scientists popped up, I freaked out. I love that. I love the scientists in the back rooms,
Yeah.
like thing. I like their suits. I like how they're like learning about it. And I like how they have like their whole setup. And whenever I saw them spray the therapist with the stuff and then them come out, I like actually turned to Lily, looked at the screen, turned to Lily, looked at the screen and pointed. I was so happy.
because I love async, because like the entire theme of Kane's Backrooms is like human. What's the word I'm looking for? Like they want to know, they want to explore, like what we thought with the ocean whenever we were colonials, what we think of space now.
Human
That's-
curiosity.
Yeah, curiosity. Yeah. I don't know why I couldn't think of that word, but that's like Async's whole shtick. The guy who made Async, oh my god, I literally had his name. Ivan Beck. He appeared in the movie for a split second at the very beginning of it, and it was a special thanks to him at the end of the movie. And the entirety of Async exists because he accidentally, well, this is the theory. It's pretty, it seems like accurate, but he like seemed to have fallen into the Backrooms whenever he was a kid. And he's the reason why the Backrooms are the yellow walls that exist, because he was the first person to fall into it. So whenever it copied his memories, whenever it started to get created from the first person that fell into it, it copied his memories of his house as a child, and that's why that's like the yellow walls are the base for it. But ever since he fell into it as a kid, he's been trying to get back there, and I think that's another reason why he went into MRIs, because he somehow, from whenever he was a kid till now, found out that it's something to do with memories and looking at that, and that's why he went into MRI machines, because that's like not the same thing, but a similar aspect to copying or looking at brains or through something. So it also, the show shows that, I'm sorry for just rambling, because you asked for information, so I'm just dropping all
intently. I'm like, this is not. I'm taking it in.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But also the show shows that they kind of lied to you. His name's Philip, right? At the end of the movie. Wait, what's his name?
Phil.
Phil. Okay. Phil says we accidentally stumbled into it or something like that, or like we like came across it or whatever after MRIs. But in the show, in like episode 3 or 4, Skylar, you can correct me or whatever, they just like, it very clearly looks like they're trying to go ahead and activate but Skylar, you can tell they have like an actual thing called the prototype that they're turning on and trying to fuck around with, and you see that after episode 2 where they actually make it's like first contact into the Backrooms, and it's just so interesting the way that they design async. And I'm sorry for rambling, but I was mainly just saying all of that just to say I love that async is barely in this movie. It makes me so happy. Like, they're my favorite part of the TV show, but also it's so great that they're just kind of like, not like a driving factor, but they're like guidelines for what the story is, if that makes sense.
They're like actively making like I don't want to call it a portal, but it's essentially like a portal. And the third one called The Third Test, and then First Contact is the next episode wherever they actually get in.
Yeah, dude, it's so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
In
I also like how they're not. I feel like if they were too involved in it, it would be very hard to watch for the first time and kind of understand. But the fact that they're just kind of like a baseline in there, it's like a little Easter egg for somebody who did watch to really enjoy and kind of understand that they're together. But enough to where if somebody would watch it for the first time and not watch the story before, they can kind of make theories based on them and kind of still get some engagement and something good out of it. I think it's a good implementation.
I might have to disagree with you, Sky. I was very confused when the scientist appeared, but that's just because I don't know as much of the source material. So, like, I'm not sure how you feel about the Austin, but I just like I couldn't even think about what the hell they were. I'm sure that
we kind of saw them earlier. We saw
the dude in his cameras.
Yeah, and someone watching
the equipment. I had like a mix of background knowledge. So like I knew that there were scientists exploring the Backrooms, and there was like a show or game or something about it. So like I thought that was enough information for me. It's like there are people exploring this, and that is all I know. So it didn't really confuse me, but I can get that perspective too if there's zero background knowledge.
All my buddies that went into it didn't know what that end was. They're very.
I don't know that shit either. I don't know what happened. Can we talk about that, or is that
scientists were involved? They showed up out of nowhere.
I don't think the scientists showed up out of nowhere because they had that sensor set up. They came whenever they tripped it.
It seemed like a trap for that version.
It is. Well, not specifically that version, but so the caveman. Okay. I'll explain that a little bit. So that is like full on a trap for either humans, life forms, or still lifes, because there's actually 2 entities inside of the Backrooms. I feel so cringe calling it the Backrooms for some reason. In the show, they call it the Complex, which I like a lot more. So I think I might do that from now on.
No, don't be doing that. No, we watched the movie and we're doing a movie review. It's called The Backrooms.
Okay, whatever. Okay, so
I feel like it makes sense.
Async is trying to study everything related to the Backrooms, as they said at the end of the movie. So those caveman things are trying to lure any of those three groups in because they want to talk to people who have been in the Backrooms and have survived. They want to dissect life forms, and they want to also dissect the still lifes. So those are kind of sitting there, human looking, so that the still lifes come up to them because they're like trying to be like humans or whatever. They're playing sounds so that the life forms want to go and attack them, and they're playing specifically the Voyager golden record, which is playing 50 hellos in different languages, because they want people to come up and realize that it's like humans. Also, there's like a thematic, sorry, real quick. There's a thematic thing for playing Voyager's the golden record, because if you guys don't know what that is, they sent it out into space for the hopes of talking to aliens. So like the idea that that's what they're using to talk to other things in the Backrooms is so well written in my brain. Sorry about that, but
Very thorough.
yeah, very thorough.
I did have a question.
Yeah.
Can you define still life versus life forms?
Yes.
I have an idea of what I just don't know which one is which.
So a still life is what we saw in this movie. They're memories, they're clones, they're copies of people, from people being in the Backrooms and getting their memories copied. Not an aspect of like they grew from anything, but it's like how you see a chair being copied inside the Backrooms. The Backrooms is trying to copy people in that aspect. Life forms are what happens to people whenever someone dies in the backroom, because like the way that they described it in the show is that like ᵒᵇΗΣ, which is something that stops the body from deteriorating, becomes mutated in the Backrooms and like turns into something else. So Skylar can attest, because they didn't have they had like half a second of life form inside of the movie, but like almost all of the monsters in the Backrooms TV show are the life forms rather than the still lifes, but they're just like these big bacteria monster things. I don't know.
So is that what came up on like whenever they were in the like bathroom area kind of and picked up the camera? Was that
was
life form?
That was Clark. I think the life form was the thing that attacked
Okay, that was still
Billy or Bobby or whatever, because it looked different.
Okay.
Because the way it also acted differently, because Captain Clark was like kind of attacking them constantly, while whatever killed Billy just kind of only killed Billy and then pulled it away to, I guess, eat.
So the life forms they're actually the dead bodies. They're not the memories of the dead body. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you die in the Backrooms, like Billy would become a life form.
Yeah, unless the life form ate him and absorbed him. Because like we don't know 100%. That's like one of my favorite parts about Kane's series, is that we don't have 100% confirmation on anything, because like we've seen the bodies mutate into what looks like a life form. We've seen a life form, but we've also seen a life form that kind of looks like two legs stacked on top of each other. So like in my head, I'm like, that's like a life form that ate another person and then kind of just like absorbed them, and then that's like what they look like now. Or two people died together and they kind of mutated from that. It's so weird. It's such a weird thing. I completely forgot what I was gonna say. I don't know if I want to say positive. I want to say a negative, but
we haven't talked about the movie much, like at all.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, that should do that at some point.
It's crazy though, because like this guy is 15 when he started the lore of this. Like that's insane to me. I understand that this isn't like 100% original, but he was 15. Like, that's insane. Like actually crazy. And
I'm just happy he made the movie, considering how like there'll be something out there and someone's like, "Oh, I'll do it," and then just butchers it.
Yeah,
like he actually knew his craft from start to finish. I don't think this happens often.
No, well, he said he's not done yet. Like he said this was kind of not like a middle point for the show, but like this is the start of the climax or whatever is going on in it. We'll talk more about what he has planned in the future a little bit, but right now I just kind of wanted to say that James Wan, you guys might know who he is. He makes like a bunch of different horror movies. but he reached out. He was the one that reached out to Kane, and I've been watching a lot of interviews with a bunch of people related to this movie just because I find it fun, and Kane's a great guy. And they said they had no idea he was in high school whenever they first reached out to him, and they went through the entire process, and then they were like, "Wait, you're 17? You're 17, and we just hired you to make a movie?"
That's crazy.
Yeah, that is actually so insane. I love it.
$100 million is just baffling.
What? It was $10 million. The entire movie.
I mean, over 100 million box office.
Oh yeah, and it's still climbing because
yeah,
like this and Obsession are making this is unbelievable how the retention is going, because me and G saw Obsession on a fucking Wednesday night at like 9:00, and the theater was packed. Like
I had to get mine like 3 days in advance. Like it was crazy.
It's insane. And I was looking at Backrooms showing. It's the same thing. I'm so for it, dude.
I sit in the disabled seating for Backrooms.
Really?
Like,
well, I'm shocked they let you do that, you know?
It was like there was the disabled like wheelchair seating, and then there's the seat for the person that's supposed to be next to them. And I was the person that was supposed to be next to them. So I got the little notice. It was like, hey, you might get kicked out of the seat if someone actually needs this seat.
Oh my God.
It's like I bought it like yesterday morning. Like I don't know, like 10 or 11. And it was at like 4 or 5. And yeah, so I was like, that was the only one that wasn't like an inch away from the screen. And I'm like, well, what are the odds, you know? What are the odds someone shorts up?
That's funny.
Sorry, I'm an asshole now.
No, you're good. I definitely not an asshole because the movie was packed. And also,
like if there wasn't going to be anyone to sit there, I'm sure the like Cinemark movie theater isn't upset.
Yeah,
I had a lot of room too, so it was great.
All right, back to the movie.
Sorry.
Marcus Dupree, the guy who plays Phil, he is incredible. He wrote, acted, and directed a movie that we're going to be covering in October called Creep. So he's no. Oh, you just pogged, Austin.
Sorry, I was just told about the Creep movies and the Creep TV show literally yesterday. That was like a conversation we were talking about, and I'm like, oh, that'd be fun to watch. Like maybe I'll do that. And sorry, I like didn't look at the schedule.
I don't know if he did the other ones or the show or anything, but I know he wrote, directed, and acted in the first one. And I've heard almost nothing but very high praise for that movie, so I'm pretty excited for it. But this is kind of a positive towards the movie. It's something I wanted to talk about related to it because I saw an interview with him. But you know how people have been talking about like, oh, there's a ghost director for this movie. Kane didn't actually direct the movie or whatever. But Marcus was like, you guys would be embarrassed walking to the set on the first day and seeing Kane because he was more prepared than almost any other director I've seen. Because like you think that he's 20 years old, you're gonna step onto the set and he's gonna have like go up to people, ask questions and whatever. No, he was the one with the binder that was walking up to people, telling them what their character was supposed to be doing and feeling and how everything leads up to that moment. And I'm like, this dude is 18. This dude is 18 and doing that. That is insane. I love that. And I love that Marcus felt like it was necessary for him to go and defend Kane like that. Good stuff all around. Clam claps for the Hollywood community right now.
As a director, is he like, I see you're confused on what I mean. Just watch like my 5 hours of content on YouTube and you'll understand.
He did it. He did that.
Hours.
Yeah. Literally.
He told people that?
No, he didn't say that, but he did say like, if you want to know full context of the series, go watch it. And they did. They actually did. Well, I don't know if all of them did, but the main guy, can someone pronounce his name? So then I
Clark?
Yeah, I wanted to like be respectful and actually say his real name, but I don't want to be disrespectful and butcher it. So I'll just
the actor's name.
Yeah, the actor's name. But he watched the entire thing, and I know he watched the entire thing because they asked him what his favorite episode is, and he gave a very ball knowledge answer. Because the third to last episode is just about the fluorescent lights within the back rooms and why they look so real, and Async's research into the electricity and how it works within the back rooms. And Clark's actor was like, I was blown away with the detail he put into this stupid thing that almost no one is even going to think about, let alone like question. And I was like, dude, that's such a ball knowledge answer. I like this guy a lot. He's sick. That's dope as hell.
When I was looking up the cast right now, I'm also not going to pronounce his name. I forgot that tall basketball player played in the movie.
Yeah.
Totally. So I remember them like filming it and stuff and like showing behind the scenes. I didn't think he was going to be Captain Clark.
Yeah.
Like Pirate Clark. I thought it was going to be like some sort of like, I thought he was playing Alien actually. I'm not going to lie. I thought
he did play an alien in the movie Alien Romulus.
Alien Romulus.
Oh, yeah. That's probably what I'm thinking of actually. Never mind.
Yeah. He also was something else in some other scary movie. So I was talking to my buddy.
I think he only has the 2 roles because I looked him up. He only has Backrooms and Alien Romulus.
I'm pretty sure he was something else too. I was talking to Cody about it. He knows. I'll ask him tonight and text you guys. But we were talking about him specifically, and Cody was like, "Man, it would fucking suck to exist and then be like, oh, we're gonna cast you as like a gross, terrible monster, and that's like your only role."
That's literally what I told. That's literally what I told Caden. Or I think. It's like, can you imagine, like, being like that and being like, you're perfect for this super creepy monster. Don't change anything.
At least the silver lining is that it's like not his face. Like I wouldn't be insulted if someone was like, "Hey, you're tall as hell. Be a scary guy." I'll do it. Like, but they're like, "Hey, we need you just as you are, face included." Then I might be a little insulted.
Yeah, that's completely understandable. All right.
Zach, did you see that there was an interview with the director Kane, and it was like basically asking about his opinion on AI in movies, and he immediately shut it down.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Dude.
He said he's so against it. And the second that he sees any AI in it, he instantly kind of like discredits part of the movie, because if you're not willing to put detail into that, what else are you not willing to put detail into?
Word for word, you took that right out of his mouth. But the interviewer is fucking stupid. Do you remember what she said?
No, I just remember his answer. It was such a good answer. It was
such a good answer. But his first thing he said was like, "No, I don't like AI." And her immediate reaction was, "What? Why?" And I was like, "Oh, you're talking to the artist. You can't say that. Like, you have to be stupid." Also, there was a comedian that recently spoke, and he said that AI just makes mediocre people more stupid. And that was one of my favorite quotes I've ever heard in my entire life. And I think that's... Okay, Chen?
A little tangent, second story though. Like at work, we had like lunch and learn.
Bro, what are you doing right now? It is fucking very loud.
What is going on?
Yeah.
That's kind of hype though. Like, that was intense. I was like,
are you like playing with your Rubik's Cube as you're talking? Oh yeah,
yeah,
don't do that, dude. What the fuck?
So cool.
Why?
I like that.
My bad. I didn't
turn on the fight or flight response.
No, it's not shaking the camera, but we hear it. Like we hear every move. You're moving your mic, so obviously we're gonna hear it.
Okay, I'm just gonna know. I'm gonna prank some people with that. Anywho, I had a lunch and learn, and this lady was talking about like she was like explaining the services that their company provides, and she was like, "Oh yeah, we have like this great AI service, and we had a client who needed to fill in this role, this HR role, but we showed them this AI, and it completely solved their issues. They didn't have to hire anyone, and so she's like, it was a big win-win. They were happy about that." They were like, and I'm just dying. I'm so thankful my camera was not on, but like, it's just so sad to see like people not understand. Like, what if that happened to them? Would they be so happy about it? Like, no. Like, it's just so sad.
So AI does suck. However, seeing all of the videos of Captain Clark skateboarding since the movie came out has been quite funny to me for some reason.
I'm not seeing what you're talking about.
It's very specific to my feed, and I'm very sorry about that. Because like every time I see it, I'm like, I know I shouldn't watch this into completion. I know I shouldn't.
That's a weird way to phrase that.
Well, because that's how the Instagram's thing works. If you don't swipe away immediately, we're gonna ignore that, Austin, and keep going.
Is that just Captain Clark video?
I really liked all the found footage moments in this movie. They were really. This is a podcast about the Backrooms. I really liked that like 25-minute long found footage sequence in the middle of the movie. It was really cool, especially since I couldn't tell if it was CG at some point because almost like I'd say like 99% of Kane's TV show is CG with like a handful of real actors mixed in with it. And I know they built most of the set. I just don't think that they would have risked him walking in the knee-deep water for a long take. You know, I feel like that would be, he would slip on that or like have a chance of him slipping on it because it was like linoleum, or at least it looked like it. I don't know. Something in my brain is like, I don't think they made the pool area, if you know what I mean.
Maybe. I know that like one room where Captain Clark like almost gets oh my gosh, I forget the main guy's name.
Clark?
You
forgot?
Yep.
You forgot Clark, but remembered Captain Clark?
Sorry.
Bro, what the hell is even that?
I misclicked.
No, that's good. That was good. I think it fit.
But do you know like the one room where it like kind of goes up and it's that mini door with
Yes.
3 knobs? I know that one's real because I saw a set picture
100%. Yeah.
on it, so I know that is real. 100%.
Yeah, I'm thinking that like I think that was like the first bit whenever he was in there. The second bit is whenever they do like the POV camera shot where they are sending the people down. I think the laundry room is real. I think after he goes out the room of the laundry room, you see all the wires and he runs away and he's still in the yellow. That's real because at that moment he like looks up and he sees the one hallway that's going straight up, and I'm pretty sure I've seen that in set. But after that, I think it's fake until the pool room. But I genuinely don't know because it's all just one long take. So like.
Yeah,
it could.
You think, or
Yeah.
or like you say you think is really good for the movie because
Yeah.
it's just they fooled us.
Yeah,
you know?
fully, literally.
Which
It's
off of $10
amazing.
million, by the way. I just can't like. I'm like geeking over all that.
In
Knowledge.
The majority of that money went to fucking building 300 square feet of this facility. Like, that's insane. That's so cool to me. I saw some people be like, they should just keep it as like a museum for you to go into. But I don't know if they're
honestly.
going to do that.
Milk
do
it.
that.
Get
Yeah,
some more
exactly.
money out of that whole
People
whole
would
thing.
100% pay for that. That'd be really cool. We talked about async for a little bit here, and the only reason I'm bringing it back up because I was scrolling through the episodes, and my favorite episode was crap. I immediately looked at it and forgot the name of it. Help me. No,
Fake ball knowledge.
it's called Report, and what it is basically what the Phil guy in this movie is doing, and it's just showing the researchers at Async and what their job is. And it's really cool because it's them watching the previous episodes of the TV show, and you just see their face and they're like, what the fuck is going on? Because like all this shit's insane. Because imagine it being real and you're like, I have to study and then go into that, and I'm watching these people just get ripped apart by bacteria. I'm like, I don't want to go do that. So that was another thing in the movie that I was like, I get that because that's my favorite episode when we saw Marcus for the first time, and then he put it together because it was like a decent time jump, and he was like, oh, Clark went missing, and he saw it on TV, and he goes, that's my guy. I need to go look into this a little bit here, especially since he knows what Captain Clark looks like because of the first video at the beginning of the movie, because that was Captain Clark, not a bacteria. All right, so we've gushed about the movie a decent amount and also talked about the show. I mean, we didn't talk about the movie basically at all. We kind of just talked about the detail that was put into the movie. Does anyone have like positives before we get into a couple negatives?
Yeah, well, some of like the more quote unquote basic ones is I think like the music and the like sound effects in this movie are really good. They fit really well. They don't like overtake any of the scenes. They kind of like play into it very nicely. And I really like where was my one note on it? The pacing. The pacing of this movie felt great. It was like slow whenever it was trying to like introduce everything and kind of like set stuff up before the Backrooms, and then like the second they started going to the Backrooms, it felt like it was going so fast, and like you were kind of like feeling the pace that the characters were also feeling. Is like you were kind of matching them very well, and I like that a lot. And that's not something that like you get too often, but it kind of gave like this like whenever it was Clark and I'm just gonna say that his 2 employees, and they're lowering the one down to the laundry room. Like whenever all that happened, it felt like I was feeling the same stress whenever I saw that like bed come back at them. I felt like I was there too, so it was great. I really sorry if that was somebody's favorite.
No, you're good. In that scene, did you guys freak out about the laundry bin? Because like the second he got down there, I turned to G and I was like, someone's in the laundry. Because like it was the caveman. Yeah, it was the caveman cutout that was under there. Because I'm guessing that the life form like saw it, grabbed it, and brought it down to its cave or whatever. And I didn't realize it was the caveman until after the movie whenever I saw it. But I was so certain that was like a still life or something. And G just kept like freaking out because she was like, how doesn't he see it? How doesn't he see it? The face, it's right there. And I thought that was quite funny. I like that.
So is all those laundry like from his previous victims?
That, or it looked like he was picking up a shirt and he said like, what the? And in my head, I was like, is that like his shirt or something that was cloned down there?
It is. I made a note about that shirt in the beginning of the movie because I thought it was a weird, because it was just like end apartheid. And I made a note, I'm like, for what I was like, I thought it was weird that the dummy character was wearing that. I'm like, that feels like slightly insensitive. But for whatever reason, I made a note about it. So then I recognized it when it came up and I'm like, oh, okay, that's why they made it like a weird shirt so that you'd recognize it when it came up again.
Yeah, good stuff. Wow. Kane made half of the music for the movie. He made all of the music for his TV show. He's so talented, it's crazy. I was watching a YouTube video talk about Kane. He actually knows Kane reasonably well and visited the set, but he said sometimes God blesses all of his blessings onto one person and leaves nothing for the rest of us, and that's how he described Kane. I thought that was quite funny. I think
it's like someone like using those blessings and not just
yeah,
you know what I mean, like
yeah. It would suck if he had all these blessings and then just resorted to using AI to make music or whatever stuff like that. It would be really funny. I mean, it wouldn't be funny. That would actually really suck. But anywhoosies. I think that it's great. Sorry, Austin, go ahead. I've been talking more.
Oh no, I have a really dumb side discussion. So if you want to continue with what you were saying, I can talk about it after.
I was just gonna. It's a really quick one, I guess. I really like how this movie felt like just a long episode of the TV show. I didn't like that initially whenever the movie ended because I was like, that didn't really like feel like a movie because there are certain aspects of filmmaking that I felt like were kind of missing. We'll get into that in a little bit here, but it was such a, after I sat on it for a minute, I was like, okay, I like it. His approach to making the movie, just because it really just was a long episode of the show. And there already are long episodes. There's one that's 45 minutes long, but this is double the length of that. So it was just really impressive that he was able to put his style into something so long. All right, you can go now.
Why did the people cotton candy look kind of good? Am I crazy? Like it was weird.
It was like moving.
Like, it just looked like cotton candy. Like he did that. He like ripped it out of it, and I'm like, why do I kind of want to try that?
A rice ball.
It was fluffy.
I thought it reminded me of like insulation, not like the color, but like
white
how
insulation.
it looked. And I was like,
you never wanted to eat insulation or like try it?
No,
because I think like I've seen mice live in insulation before.
Oh yeah, no, it's all like fiberglass and it'll kill you, but like it's just cotton candy. Like, it looks like candy. Okay, never mind. We can move past that. I thought that was gonna be at least one other person would have.
I mean, it kind of looked like rice, but in my head, I was like, "That's just
a
shit ton of bacteria, and that's just like really gross."
Yeah. It's real gross. But like, I'm saying, as far as like, if you ripped into a disposed corpse and started eating what was inside, I feel like that's the best that you could get. Like, as far as living and eating
like that, things. I agree with you. That is the best I could see if I had to eat a corpse. That would be the top of my list. But to your point, the way he was like cutting and like taking the slice was kind of satisfying. But
he's like digging the body. No,
it freaked me out.
I have another soundbite for you.
That's all wiggly wiggly. That was all wiggly wiggly. Good stuff. I didn't like whenever
find that out though.
Well, I personally think that almost all of the conclusions that he came to are probably not 100% accurate because like he's just a crazy dude in the backrooms. How does he know any of that information for sure? Like there's absolutely zero way he could tell that they feel pain or not. He just says, "Oh, they don't feel pain." How do you know that, brother? How do you know that?
Oh yeah, that was just projecting.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I guess
I thought that was just because every time he would like do something, they just wouldn't move. So he just assumed they don't move.
Maybe they're just
they don't
pacifists.
feel it.
However, it's
But
not
I think they do.
consistent. They showed that he's not right with everything because of Captain Clark, because he was like, "Oh, they're all made out of this. You can eat them." Captain Clark bleeds and feels things, so like
Yeah.
it's a completely different type of clone than the other ones. And I honestly don't think it's a. I saw a theory, and I don't know if I fully agree with it, but I think it's interesting that Captain Clark is a different type of life form than the ones in the kitchen scene. Like they were either the Backrooms' exact copy of Clark, while the ones in the kitchen scene are like his memories of people in his life, and that's like a little bit different. They are memories of people in his life, but do you get what I mean with that? Like he walked into the Backrooms.
making a copy of an. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah.
I was just saying, like, I get what you're saying. Like, one's a copy of a memory and one's a copy of a person that had actually entered the
Exactly.
Backrooms.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to get at there. But like, I also kind of like how that's not confirmed. Like, we get an aspect of the story. I didn't like it at first because I was like, I think it's really lame to fully explain something that's so conceptual. But then I thought about it and I was like, Clark doesn't know any of that. So it's not like they're really explaining it to us because it's just one person within the world's perspective of what the Backrooms is. And also, I'm sure that Async heard that conversation and they weren't jumping on it at the end of the movie. So I'm assuming that maybe it's not real. And also, favorite aspect of the end of the movie, I loved the x-rays. Because did you guys notice that was of Captain Clark, not of Mary?
I didn't.
Yeah,
I tried. I couldn't notice any major differences.
That's the cool part. That's the cool part because they just look like a normal human. And whenever they go past the Captain Clark, like the room where you see him laying down on the table, you see the X-rays in the background in that room. So that like makes your brain be like, oh, they're of his, not of hers. Which is why it's so interesting that it's such a normal human's like skeleton, because we clearly see that the still lifes inside of the kitchen room aren't like that. So what is this? What is Captain Clark? I think that's such a fun thing because it's like an almost perfect recreation of a human, but not. Yeah.
There was another thing that like Clark was wrong about because it seemed like he had met Captain Clark before based on how he interacted with him.
Mm-hmm.
So there was one time whenever they seemed to get along.
Yeah.
But the second time he did not. Clearly he didn't because he killed him. But
arguably it was way more than 2 times because you remember the drawing that Mary stumbled across? That was like almost in honor of the fact that Captain Clark just like raises him up constantly. And that's also why I think Clark wasn't scared whenever he was being raised up, because Captain Clark just did that to him a lot. I'm not super sure why in that moment that's whenever Captain Clark decided to eat him, but I've seen people say like it's because of his I have a film theory, but I've seen people say like it's because of his mindset. Like he came to terms with himself, and Captain Clark now doesn't line up with his brainwave. So he was like, "Oh, you're just like a normal person. I got to eat you now," or something like that. What was your theory, Austin?
I don't think that this is pending discussion, and honestly, something I just came up with while we were talking. But I don't think the Clark at the end that's talking to the therapist is the same Clark that like was in the furniture factory and all that.
I've seen. That theory,
think he was like the first iteration of the copy of Clark, because like,
or more like the last
first interaction.
You know, because like the first one wouldn't be a good copy. Oh no, you're right, because the first iteration is the best one in this version.
It would be the best copy.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I don't imagine that first interaction going any differently than Clark actually dying. Like how does he? Like, he's mainly saying there, if he sees this weird fucked up version of himself and he's just like, oh, he's kind of cute, let's be friends. Like I can't see that going like that. So I feel like it's the first iteration of him and he's like broken, and that's why everything happens the way it does. Because I can't understand how he gets from the version we saw previously to the crazy ass person that he was. But I don't know. That's the only way I can see it making sense.
When you say version, do you think like he was like copied multiple times and those copies?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's just always what happens in the Backrooms. No, like it's constantly copying and copying itself. So I think Captain Clark is probably a later iteration of Clark, and that one we saw eating people and being freaked out was like the first one.
Interesting.
And that's why he kind of feels at home there.
I thought like whenever they were copied, they were like instantly disfigured.
No.
Or is that like after multiple renditions?
That's also the memories.
Yeah. Do you remember?
At least in.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Austin. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, I was just saying, like, it's how we were saying it is those versions were copies of memories versus Clark is a copy of like actually a person in the Backrooms.
There's the very first trailer, and also I'm pretty sure there's a scene in the movie that shows it on Microcosm, where they show just a normal room, and then it goes through the floor, and it's like the same room but very slightly different, and then it goes through the same room again. You get what I mean? That's what the Backrooms is. Like that's like a visual representation of how it does its shtick, I guess, in a way. I don't know if that makes sense. And Austin was saying that the Clark from the video, like the found footage bit, is a completely different personality from the Clark from the kitchen table room, which is why he thinks that it's a different person. And I understand.
So that found footage where he like runs into like that room with like the wallpapers, that was Clark.
What?
Is that what you're saying?
Oh no! The beginning of the movie. No, that was an async thing. There were three found footage bits in this movie about.
Oh, you mean the one whenever he was with his assistant?
Yes. Yeah.
In that pool and stuff.
Yeah.
That was the first version of him, and the one that picked up the camera was maybe a second version, or was that Pirate Clark?
That was Pirate Clark.
Yeah.
That's probably still the real Clark. Actually, it might not be. Because it was a couple weeks between the.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe yeah. That's so weird though. Like, you go in and his first self gets lost, but he gets copied and that person escapes.
That'd be creepy. That'd be really creepy.
Or do you think he just, when you go in there, he just changes and comes out and he becomes a second version of Clark?
I don't think a copy of him ever came out, at least in the way I'm thinking about it. I think once he was copied, he started to feel at home in the Backrooms, and that's when he just like was like living there.
Yeah.
Once again, this is not like what I think is the correct understanding. This is me guessing.
Well, some of what you said is 100% true. Like about him not connecting with the world and living in the Backrooms because he's an asshole.
Yeah, like I don't see that jump in his character in reality without that being a copy of himself. But once again, that could also just be like the way they
problem within the movie.
That's what I thought of it was at first, to be honest.
Yeah, Scott?
Should that extra like random like change in Clark be from the therapist entering the back room? Because she's his therapist, so she's seeing him like be crazy. So could that affect the copy and make him seem crazier? And why he would believe he's friends with this monster?
I could see it for the copy because it doesn't have his memory exact, but like I wouldn't say Clark was ever crazy in the therapy session that we saw. He just was an asshole, but that's just like who he is and why he's the villain of the movie, you know?
But like she might have thought he was crazy whenever he was originally trying to explain magical
yes,
rooms.
I get what you're saying.
So he's going crazy and he's like, it's my home. This is where I am. Like, this is finally what I meant to do and like what meant to be. And then she sees like Captain Clark be the mascot and he's like, this is my friend. Like this is the
I get what you're saying. Oh my god, because her memory of him is an insane person. So of course the clone would be an insane person.
So he's insane in the back room because she remembers him being insane. And she goes to check up on him and make sure he's not harmful to himself.
There was a scene in the movie that when I first watched it, I loved it, and then after the movie ended, I did not like it anymore because I didn't think it was relevant. And now I think you saying that has made me think that I like it again. Oh, can we get into the negatives?
Was it the kid scene? Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be a good transition then. So there was a scene right in the therapy room, like in that therapy scene, that in any other movie, the scene ends at this way. When Clark leaves and closes the door. That's any other movie. That's the end of the scene. Clark leaves. But it stays on her for another minute or so while she like contemplates. And to me, the second that happened, I felt like a jarring moment because that's like, oh, we were expecting the scene to end, but it's continuing to go. So this makes the audience want to think in this more. And I thought, wow, she knows about the rooms. Because that scene was about how she didn't believe him and he was showing her the rooms and stuff like that. And I was like, holy shit, she knows about it. But at the end of the movie, it's like, no, she doesn't. And I was like, I don't know if I like that scene anymore. But maybe that was her being like, oh, he's like my mom and he's crazy and whatever. And then whenever he steps into the back room, when she steps into the back rooms, that's whenever it creates that version of Clark that's insane. And that's why like that blends both of your theories together, that it's a clone of Clark, and that it's because of her memories of it. Oh, I like that. I like that. I like that theory, Zach. That's good stuff. Go ahead.
And whenever she like sees the map and sees it for the first time, she like flashes back to seeing his like original drawing.
Yeah.
And she like finally connected the pieces, but like realize maybe that he's not insane, what he said is the truth, but still thinks he's crazy because of everything.
And the second
which would make sense why he was like friendly. I don't know if I consider that friendly toward her. He did like
choke her,
basically kidnap her.
Yeah.
But and reenacted that role play thing because that's the most recent thing.
Memory, yeah. That was fun stuff. Also, real quick, that scene where she was going in and there was the fly, that was a happy little accident. Kane said. He said that the fly bit, it was like a completely different way that she was going to get into the back rooms, but there was a fly on set, so they were just like, we'll just do that because it's fun. Go ahead.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually had like an idea mid-movie, and I was like, can animals get into this? Like, what are the odds? Like that store has like a mouse or something, and mice run along walls.
Right.
So clearly, when this wall stopped, it would wrap in.
Yeah.
And go into the back room. So I was like,
yeah.
Like, why are there no animals? Like, I feel like one or two would be in here, especially in some of these. Like,
in the laundry room.
It would have animals.
Yeah.
It would have something. That room is gross.
Unless the life form eats those too.
Yeah, which is a different idea. But then I saw the fly go in, and I was like, so they can get in. So there might be some copies of animals hidden in this.
Maybe.
Or insects hidden in this on top of it. But yeah, you're saying that's a happy little accident. I don't know if that kind of ruins my theory.
Well, he said he had to cut out something while writing the script for the movie that revolved around a fly, and he was really excited about it, and he was disappointed that he had to cut. And he said it was like fate that they had this fly scene in the movie then, because it wasn't the same scene that he thought of, but it was like an homage to it. So maybe he was doing something related to what you're thinking of originally. I think that's fun.
I hope so.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
How come the life forms made it out, except for like how come nothing from the back rooms ever made its way out of the back rooms?
I just believe they can't leave.
Well, I was gonna say this is like the first time they've had a almost permanent null zone, because like in the show, you just fall in and there's no way out. There's no like exit or anything like that. The only people in the show's history to ever have a consistent null zone was Async. There was a girl in her garage that had one for a couple days, but then she kept fucking with it, and it then closed one time whenever she fell into it. That was found footage 2, Skylar. You didn't get there yet. Found footage 3 then is just an async person going into it. But like I that was something I was curious on, but I think they're going to explain that in the next episode of the show related to this null zone being like a forever thing. Like I don't know what's up with that. Go ahead, Scott.
So, but Async built the portal there. So would that not be a null zone? Because they're able to come and go.
That's what I said. That's the only consistent null zone before this one.
Okay. I misheard. That's why. Because I was going to say, you were talking about this like garage being the only. And I thought you said that was the only null zone.
No.
And
I don't
was
consider the
I've
garage a
seen
consistent
async
one.
walk in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's my fault.
Oh,
I just
dude.
misheard you. That's why I was so confused.
Yeah, Skylar, did you watch the show before or after the movie?
I watched it before.
Dude, so did you
that's
be like
actually going to be one of my positives that it flowed so well
Yeah.
for me. I literally picked up like not right where I left off because I didn't get all 20, but it
Yeah.
felt like pretty seamless. And I started I was like halfway through. It felt seamless.
dude,
It was
whenever
great.
they brought Mary into the async portal and it was in that like tech room and you can see the people in the room above it. Why do I keep blanking on his name? Ivan Beck is just standing there looking down on everyone. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe they made this real. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Okay, I'll tell you like the part that it wasn't my favorite part, so I'm not giving it away. But like I was talking about how like the scientist, I loved it.
Yeah.
But the port like I left off like maybe like 2 episodes prior, they set up the cameras and then they go in. I immediately see the cameras. And
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
You're like,
my
oh my
goodness.
god.
I was like, oh my goodness.
This show's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was a huge thing for me because I knew how those cameras worked. I know how they
Yeah.
work because it described it, and
Yeah.
they flash every time there's motion, anytime there's sound.
Yeah.
They get something, they get a timestamp, and then it shows like the clip. And then I don't know if it was just in the show or like it was a scientist going back, but it would like zoom in and circle like
Yeah.
where it was. So I think that was a scientist afterward, but it would show you the clip and what camera it was, what hallway it was, and it would show you the timestamp of what made that sound. So
yeah. And you're
It was
like, oh, you
fantastic,
know
and I
that's
was
happening
wondering-
with Clark and Captain Clark whenever it's coming.
well, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
They were moving so
Yeah.
much. They had to have triggered so many alerts.
They did.
in
That's why
this.
we saw
They
Marcus
definitely
Dupree, like his reaction to the live footage of it. That one time that Clark was in there the very first time, it showed that they were
Yeah.
like, even though Async was barely in the movie, they were there the entire time.
They were watching
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Bro.
Okay.
He's 20
I
years
was
old.
supposed
He's 20. He made this movie when he was 18. Like I can't get over that. That is so insane. He did a really terrible job of showing the passage of time in this movie. He did a really bad job with it. I think the
Yeah,
only thing that showed it was all of the late bills at the door of Captain Clark's Ottoman Empire. But other than that, I had no idea how much time was going from one thing to the other.
To be honest, it was probably like no more than like 2 months because I feel like he probably meets with his therapist on the monthly and he probably missed the appointment and that's why she went out. So I'm assuming like, yeah, you're right. We don't know.
Well,
My best guess is it
I
was
was
a
gonna say,
couple months.
he left a voicemail saying he's not going to be at the next one. So it could have
Oh,
been
did
way
he?
before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, how does that make sense? That was going to be a comment I had. How does he make that voicemail?
He could have just left for a second to make the voicemail
Yeah.
and went back in.
I assumed he went in and came back out, and then one time he called and then went in, and then he got Crazy Clark. I don't know.
He has a lot of it mapped out because remember he knew about the pool before he ran there, so he's already been in that area like well
Yeah.
beforehand. So even if it is a clone, he probably has a pretty good idea of the entire location of it.
I can't believe he kept her head of his assistant. That was
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
That was creepy.
Yeah, I really didn't like how Austin said like to me the only explanation is that it's a still life of Clark's just because of how violently he went from being just an asshole to being actually insane. And that bothers me personally because they made an effort in the show to have a character get stuck in the back rooms, have Async say that since he was in the back room so long, he went crazy, but in reality, he was perfectly normal and Async just wanted to have a reason to kill him. So like in the show, they put effort into showing that you can't get like mentally insane from being in there, or not, maybe not can't get, but you can exist in the back rooms for an extended period of time and be completely fine. But in this movie, it's you go crazy. And I was like, oh, maybe it's because of he's eating bacteria people or whatever. But how could Mark have survived in the back rooms for several months without eating anything? So he probably did too. I don't know.
Because he didn't have a therapist think he's crazy, and that therapist walk in and
Mm,
have the memory of him being crazy.
right. Another problem I had with that scene is that I think that so I go back and forth on this opinion. I've talked to several people about it, and someone told me that I'm thinking about it too much, and someone actually somewhat agreed with me, but they said that it wasn't big enough of a problem to actually impact the movie. I go back and forth on whether or not I like that Mary was his therapist, because I do think we needed another character in the movie to be the second half protagonist, because Clark changes from protagonist to antagonist halfway through. However, I feel like making it a therapist made it so that they could say the theme of the movie to the audience and have it feel natural, you know? Because like she really just says it in that scene. She's like, you're the bad guy. You are wired wrong. And I remember rolling my eyes and I was like, oh, you're kidding me that they just are gonna say it to us. But like it also kind of makes sense because she's a therapist, so obviously she's gonna be telling him that. But I also just think it's
the pass.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's kind of a lazy choice. Go ahead, Sky.
Would you rather have been like his wife or ex-wife wandered it, like he was like talking to her? Because like they had all the arguments before.
Because like
it'd be like the closest thing you could do without changing the story that much.
I really don't know, because I like how his wife was just a still life in the corner. Like I think that is a perfect representation of Clark himself and how like fucked up he is. So it makes sense that that character, who was never really supposed to be a real character because she isn't to Clark, she's just his wife. So I thought that was well done. I really don't know what I would have done differently because I'm not Kane Pixels, but just like something about just saying the theme of the movie really bothered me. I didn't like that. Does anyone agree or disagree with that?
I didn't like the therapist. Like I didn't really like her in general. I mean, for one, I think she's a bad therapist, but
Yes.
maybe I'm also kind of confused on her backstory a little bit, and I did want to talk about that before saying it's a negative.
I think it's a negative, personally.
I mean, I think so too, but I'm open-minded if anyone has an explanation. But like the scene when she was younger with her mom in the house and all of that, is that supposed to connect to the Backrooms at all, or is that completely unrelated? Like that's just her mom being crazy, and that's her origin story of why she wanted to be a therapist.
Which was so lame, by the way. I did not like that. So I was so certain that it was gonna her backstory or the mom's backstory was gonna connect to the Backrooms at some point throughout this movie, and then the big twist at the end is nope, she just got put in an insane asylum. Okay.
Yeah.
I just.
What was up with the breaking of the door then? Was that just like a wrecking ball destroying the house because they haven't paid their bills or something?
Well, no, it was a representation of her like bad childhood going away, you know, and her getting over it. And the last bit of her childhood going away was the handprint that she had that she broke against Clark's face. It was supposed to be like her getting over her trauma from her past or whatever. And like I do understand it, but I just don't think it was portrayed very well. If that makes sense.
That was my take too, and I was just like, I don't like that, so I'm hoping that someone else has a better explanation for that.
Again, like small potatoes. He's 20 years old, man. At least to me, like that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, no, I get it, but I also want to evaluate the movie like any other movie. So,
no, I'm not adding any points for him being young. I'm just saying, like, I don't think that's the biggest deal. I am removing points because of it, but like. It's crazy that I don't know. It's a pretty big deal because it's like an entire main character. It was
intentional inclusion, and that's what threw me off.
Yeah,
is like in a movie about the Backrooms. It's like the freaking Godzilla versus Kong movies where you have all the human characters that no one really gives a shit about, and then they focus a lot on them when all we want to see is the big monsters fighting, and in this case, the Backrooms. So I'm like, it's the obligatory human backstory.
This is going to sound kind of weird, but I honestly think it's worse than that. Because like in this movie, they kind of teach in the movie and the show, they teach you to just look for every single detail because it like somewhat connects to something else. And if you're looking into that more than you need to, it's kind of going to ruin the movie for you. Because like, I thought that her mom was going to be the main lady in Found Footage 2, the one that found a null zone in her garage that's really small, and she's just like fucking with it until she falls into it. And then Mary was just going to be alone growing up. I thought that would have been amazing. I thought that would have been a great connection. But no, it's not what ended up happening. And I kind of was a little disappointed in that. But I guess initially I was like, am I disappointed in it because it's not my theory? But then I thought about it more and I was like, I just don't like it. Good, Sky.
The thing is, it could connect later on. Just because it doesn't connect now doesn't mean it won't connect. So that's like something else I'm trying to keep in the back of my mind. Like, because obviously again, we've said this feels like another episode. So and the ending doesn't feel like an ending. So I refuse to believe that he is just bringing up and putting that much emphasis on a backstory for it to mean nothing later on. Granted, I wish it was explained more or shown less now, but it doesn't mean it's not going to have significance later on.
That's a good point, I guess. I still am taking points off of it because it should be able to watch within the movie itself. And like, I guess we could talk about this as like a possible positive or negative because you said it doesn't have an ending. And I think that's supposed to be the point because the Backrooms is never ending. It's continuously growing. And the movie ends with it growing because of Mary's memories. And I think that's like a fun little way for it to drop the movie and just be like, her story's done, Clark's story's done, therefore the movie is done. Opinions on that? Okay, sorry.
I like yours, but I can go after. I kind of have like probably a bad take. But it's something I've been thinking about like it's something I thought about the entire movie.
Chan, what do you think of the end of the movie? Scott said he was going to go after you guys.
Like with the scientists or
just like how it ended.
I like the chase scene. I thought that was pretty fun. I liked everything about that. But if you're talking about like how it all broke and fell apart,
Chandler, you chose the only part of that scene I didn't like.
You did?
You freaking broke her ankle on the softest room in the rooms, man.
Yeah, that was
annoying. It was so stereotypically like scary because she's tripping and falling and running away from this thing.
It's not just like it's just a chase scene. Like we saw so much ridiculous, trippy scenes. I get what you mean. One part where it was like a pit of like what looked like a hotel almost.
That was crazy.
Go up the like that was that. I was like, I don't have fear of heights, but like holy crap, I felt like I was gonna fall over watching. I thought I was gonna fall on my chair watching this movie. I thought they did stuff like that really well. I found it very entertaining, despite her rolling her ankle. I did find like instantly. That was irritating. I don't know. I didn't mind it at all. Really.
No, I jumped too fast. I'm sorry. What you said?
Upon your explanation, I enjoyed that too.
Yeah.
Upon your explanation, I agree with you.
Let's go.
Yeah, I agree too. I completely forgot about her running through the different environments and only thought about her inside of the clone of the warehouse. And I just was like, I hate how she tripped on every piece of furniture in this store.
Yeah.
But the other stuff was really cool.
Her. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, she's like backing up into the recliner, and I'm like, girl, like, look behind you. You know there's things there.
Also, he's not fast. So, like, just turn around. Like, I did this at work. I was like, instead of doing this, do this. And then just run. Like, just bolt away.
Body him. Like, she was, like, beating him up with a little, like, handprint thing, which also... Why did she have that? Like, what's
for the theme of the movie, Austin? For the theme of the movie.
I know. I'm not that dumb. Despite what everyone on YouTube thinks after last week, I'm really not that dumb. I get what they were trying to do, but you don't have the physical representation of your childhood trauma on you at all times.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what.
Where did it even fit? That's a big chunk of cement.
Yeah. Like in your pocket. We should have seen that, honestly. That should have stuck out in her clothing.
Yeah,
like,
it's like a little bit.
It's just weird. Did you have any other thoughts, Shan, that you wanted to say on the ending?
Other than like, I found the scientist part confusing up until now. A lot of it makes sense. Like literally, I kind of wish I would have looked into the lore, but I don't blame the movie because like. It's for the real fans that it would make sense. I mean, it didn't ruin the movie for me that I didn't understand what happened at the very end, but like it would have added to it if I did. So yeah, I don't have any complaints at all. Oh, I do maybe have some things that I liked, but not at the end.
I might jump in with a couple comments. Actually,
you're up.
I don't like how they ended it. Like literally the last like 2 minutes of the movie. And I want to get people's thoughts on that, but I get that it was trying to show the Backrooms evolving and kind of being affected by Mary's memories. Like, I understand that. But I think in the context of the movie, it was framed kind of like a twist. And it's as long as I'm understanding it right, it's not a twist. It's just showing what's happening in the back rooms. Like in my mind, when it happened, I was thinking,
She died.
okay, so this conversation didn't happen. Like she died. Like why end the movie showing exactly that in a way that makes it seem like it's the memory of the memory or something that like wasn't happening. Like why cut away from the real scene to just show her copy in the back rooms if they're actually not connected really whatsoever, other than it just being a memory.
I interpreted it very differently. I didn't feel like it was a twist, and to me it was like, as it was showing it, it was like it's already connected to her. So it's adapting her direct memories. So to me it wasn't like, oh, this didn't happen. It's adapting it as she's thinking about it or as she's experiencing it or something like that.
Okay, yeah, and I get that. I'm saying like I guess someone who didn't really have the backstory going in, like I thought maybe it could have been like a twist type of thing, the way they showed it and ended up on it. But with that understanding that you were saying, it doesn't really matter. Like I don't think that's a very conclusive way to end the movie of just saying, like I that's the criticism I have, is that it just feels not
flat.
Like an end.
Yeah.
Would you rather have ended with her like on the table talking to Phil, like right there, like maybe like as they're talking, you get like a little bit of the conversation, or she like wakes up and then it cuts? Or
yeah, I think if they're gonna go with we're not getting answers to what the scientists are, and once again, I know the TV show and everything beforehand, but like in the context of the movie, if they're not going to explain what the Backrooms is, if they're not going to explain what the company is that's researching it, I would have rathered her just like wake up on a table and like show that she's like basically going to be used as an experiment, and leave it more to interpretation than another kind of mystery. Zach, go.
I thought of a really fun way to end the movie that makes the movie itself full circle and makes me smile and point at the screen and go, oh, I like that. So instead of cutting to the Backrooms and it being Mary's memories, we then cut to a camera view of Phil interviewing Mary, and it cuts off and it shows the silhouette of Ivan Beck from the beginning of the movie. And then it's like, oh, Ivan's still studying her or something like that. So it's like basically the same thing, but it closes the movie in its entirety while also giving some questions to the audience. I'm guessing you guys don't like that. What was that?
I don't know Ivan Beck really, so
well,
I can't really have...
Okay, that's fair. Go ahead, Sky.
Right. I think it would have been cool to have like a researcher have like two cameras, like one overseeing Phil, because obviously they're watching her on the table, and then one like actively seeing the back room like adapt.
I just realized something that makes it bad, because
cool.
Ivan's in the room. That. Ivan's in the room that Phil looks over to, so it wouldn't make sense that he's watching a camera view of it. So
yeah, but if you have another scientist, they could be doing both.
Or they remove because like remember she asked a question and he like uncomfortably like looks over to the one-way mirror or whatever. Get rid of the one-way mirror. Make it a footage thing. Like this show's about footage. Do that. Maybe I just like my idea more because I came up with it, but
ready for my bad take?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think Captain Clark was scary enough.
I agree.
I like how he looked in the original. I like how the monster looked in the original show a lot more. It was a lot more menacing.
Oh my god! Skylar, I love you. That's literally what I said when I finished the movie. I turned to G and I was like, Captain Clark is like a cool representation of the theme of the movie, but it would have been so much more scary if it was one of the life forms, you know?
Exactly. Like that's, oh my goodness. Yeah. Like it was fine. And I get like, it's supposed to be everything with that, right? They should have altered it somehow to make it scarier. It was not nearly as scary as I think it should have been for them to have the reactions that I think some of them had. It should have been like, it should have been disfigured in some way if they wanted to stick with the whole like pirate getup, right? They should have done something to make it like infinitely scarier, like something is noticeably wrong, or like half the mask is broken and like half of it's like the normal thing, and then like the costume is like distorted, in something. It was too perfect.
So they needed him to be like humanoid because they wanted to have the X-rays and like async is research him at the end. However, I found a way to do both, Skylar. I found a way to do both. Captain Clark is there because we need to have him be the representation of the theme of the movie. However, a life form that is like the amalgamation of the people who have died throughout the movie so far. So the researcher at the beginning of the movie, Bobby and Kat, comes at the end while Captain Clark is lifting Clark up and consumes Captain Clark and Clark. So that's like an amalgamation of all of the like dead or bad things in the movie coming after them. That way we can have a scarier villain and also still have the X-ray of Captain Clark at the end. Bam.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I don't like that.
Okay. No, it's fair.
It just feels like a bigger fish type of thing. Like, I think if you're going to build Clark up to be the villain, like you
Avenger just everything out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from, though. I think the life forms are cool, but I also, as someone who hadn't seen the show, that would have been confusing.
Yeah. I thought that, like, I hate, we could talk about it in a little bit. Do you guys want to get into top 3 and then summary real quick? Or
I wanted to comment on your thing one more time.
Yeah,
that would also lead to the researchers having to research even more, so kind of even adds more lore outside. Yeah, that's actually a really, because they don't know there isn't a bigger fish. They just see him and they assume it's him.
But the researchers know there's a bigger fish, which is like, you know, like I think that's cool. That's cool stuff. All right, top 3. Chandler's going first.
I'm going first. Okay.
Yep.
Can we do the summary too?
Yeah, just rip it. Yeah, because we're a decent amount of the podcast.
My least favorite bit is I think whenever he scalped what looked like his wife's memory and put it on the therapist. I don't know. I feel like it was kind of obvious that's what he was going for, but still just very creepy. And it maybe painless to them. It kind of ripped off pretty easily.
Maybe.
I'm sure it was probably edible still. I don't know. Just freaky. Just a little weird. Funniest. Wait, I wrote it down. I thought eating them was pretty funny, but I think I liked Clark sleeping on his own furniture in the store when he was watching on his TV. That was really funny. He didn't get kicked out of the house, so.
I think the funnier thing is he chose a twin-size bed. He didn't pick the biggest bed he had.
I didn't even notice that. That's funny. That's great.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice that either. I don't know. It's got a good chuckle out of me. I gotta be honest, real quick. This is probably like in my summary. I watched it at the drive-in, so I couldn't hear the movie. Unfortunately, like it was really, So I had to like go on my phone, install this radio app. So I was watching the movie like this the whole time, listening into it from my phone because none of my friends wanted to hear it from my phone because it was like a quarter-second delay. So it was enough of an issue for them. So I was watching it on a delay.
Why didn't you connect it to the radio in your car?
Because I have a Ford, and Ford hates drive-ins. It does not. The lights don't turn off. There's no setting to turn your lights off, like every other car. So they're going to have to grab plastic trash bags to cover up my lights. And then this dude was like, yo, I got you. I know how to do this. It's because your tailgate thinks it's open. So he clicked the lock to finesse it to make it think it was sealed. Told me to turn my car off and then turn the radio on. Didn't work. And I was like, it's too much of an effort to go ask the guys to go get the bags, turn my car back on and cover the lights. So I just made do. Sorry, little tangent. Despite all that, it didn't really affect my watch. But
I mean, it's like a mostly quiet movie, so I get that.
Yeah. There's lots of moments where like there was no audio necessary, so kind of lucked out.
You missed out on the music though. Kane does such a good job with the music.
I didn't hear probably any of that. It was very raspy too. Like it was like staticky, which actually I thought was kind of sick. I thought it kind of added to the movie. Yeah. I was like, actually, I'm getting an experience someone else is getting. Vibe. Yeah, exactly. So it had its perks, I suppose. I said funniest, yeah. Favorite? I'm gonna go chase scene because we got to see a lot of those really like unhinged situations with like the whole setup and stuff. I just thought it was really trippy and just invigorating, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word to use. It kind of rolled off the tongue, but
enticing.
Enticing,
like super interesting.
Yeah. I was going for like a cool word. It's not to say that wasn't cool, Sky. But yeah, you're right. I mean, there's flaws with it, but like we got to see a lot of what I liked about the movie, which was like the whole, just the environment all at once. It was everything everywhere all at once. It was really fun.
Little
straight to the
A24
review.
reference for you.
I really like this film. I don't know if I had anything negative on my notes. And actually, I wanted to give it a better rating after this movie, after our review, and learning about things I wasn't privy to beforehand. Because it was a little confusing for not knowing, but still, I feel like you're just able to follow along pretty well for being oblivious and ignorant to like the truth and the lore. I do wish I kind of picked up on a lot of those little nuances. That would have been kind of fun. But then my friends would definitely have bullied me.
Got shitty friends.
I have a right to be. I mean, I'm like, they would tease me. They would tease me. I don't know. I might make them watch this episode. I don't usually like force them, but I might force them because it's going to explain a lot of things that they were.
Or just have them watch the show. Sure. It's only like 3 hours.
This is going to be short of the show. They might watch this instead.
That's true.
But it's going to be hard to get them to watch this, I feel like. But anywho, I really loved the acting. We didn't really mention this, but I knew it was like we were running low on time, so I didn't say anything. But I loved the little mock conversations that the therapist and Clark had. I thought that was really surreal and genuine. Both times, I like how they brought it back up, which I guess kind of makes sense that movies like to do that. Yeah, I don't know, the scenery, I thought that was really cool. It was just so sporadic, chaotic, discontinuous. Like, how do you just be like, put a wall there, but like make it vertical, and then whatever that one scene was, whenever you could look up and it was in the hallway. I just love how it all blended in. You really couldn't tell what was real or what was CGI. They didn't have that big of a budget, so a lot of it had to be, I'm assuming, real, because CGI probably would have cost more. Maybe not. I don't know. It's a lot. I don't know. Expenses, how that works. But I also like the door and how like it was like transparent, or just like them moving in and out. I thought it looked really seamless too. There's a lot that was just really fun, and I would love to watch this movie very soon. So I'm gonna give it an 8.5.
Oh, I was so close.
Are you popcorning too, brother?
I'm gonna popcorn Sky.
Oh, that's so perfect, because I want to talk about something. I forget what it was, but I was gonna bring it up and I forget. But I'll start off with my least favorite, and it was just the monster wasn't scary enough. That was my like least favorite part. Every time like I kind of saw him, not it like took me out, but it felt like the hype they were building up to didn't exactly like it like didn't connect. It felt like the monster scariness was like here, but like the hype they put it up to was closer to here. And that's all right, but it's something that I would like to see changed. I put 2 favorite scenes because I didn't have a funniest, but now I kind of do have a funniest, and I kind of want it to be the fact that he didn't even pick the biggest bed in his own furniture store to sleep on, and he picked also probably a smaller TV too. Like, he's a furniture store, he should know his inventory. He should have bigger stuff in this, and that's just really funny to think about. Like, after the fact, like he picked a twin size bed, he picked like a 40-inch TV,
box TV.
Yeah. Like, granted, his store was like failing, so he probably didn't have a ton. But it also means he probably wasn't selling a ton, so he would know all the extra inventory he would have. So, I like upon that, I think it's really funny. And I put 2 favorites down. I really liked. I'm gonna go with my second favorite first. I love whenever Captain Clark picked up that camera. That was so sick to me. You just like kind of saw it, and then you saw it like move, and I was like, yeah, I loved that. And then like them talking, it's like behind you. Like, granted, that part kind of sucks. That's so stereotypical, but like the fact that he like looked straight and then up, it was so cool. I just like whenever monsters do that, but I also hate whenever they do that because I hate being snuck up on. And then my like part that I put as my favorite, which now after this episode isn't my favorite because of the fact that Zach told me, was whenever the therapist entered the back rooms, because it was like the realization that he isn't crazy, and it kind of went with my thing that animals can get in there too. I was like, this is sick.
Wait, why did the fly being an improvised thing ruin that?
Because I don't know if it's confirmed or not. I thought he left it in to show that it can.
Well, yeah, he did, but it was mainly like it was like a happy little accident, like Bob Ross says. He wouldn't have filmed it if he didn't want it in the movie. The fly was just buzzing around bothering him. What? Oh, the seagull, yeah.
The seagull.
At the very beginning of the movie.
Oh yeah, you're
so like that helps your theory.
It does, and yeah, it's back. So
it's back. It's back.
I like that whole therapist like bit, like getting in, stumbling in, and then going over to like the pictures. It was very cool. Because it was like you heard Clark talk about like all this craziness, and from her perspective, he's just crazy. And then it like clicked like all at once. So I really like that. So I wanted this movie to be longer, which says a lot about the movie. I was kind of upset whenever it ended. I just wanted to keep going, and I didn't know if I wanted it to necessarily stop, because I was so like caught up with what was going on and everything in it. I kind of wanted to know more and more. But even with that, the monster still did not live up to my expectations, and I don't want that to be like my main thing. But like from the show, that monster is genuinely scary, like genuinely scary. At least in my opinion, it genuinely is. You would always see it like sneakily be off to the side a little bit, and it was always just like snooping around, which is fantastic. Because I'm always darting, like even in this movie, I'm darting my eyes to the corners, trying to look for even like an arm of anything, or like a leg, or like a little like head, like a little head, like look, and not like in that. And it didn't happen too much. I don't think that much happened in the corners, right? Like did Clark show in the corners a little bit?
Well, little bit. That's kind of it. Like he popped up from around the corner that one time, and like at the beginning of the movie, while we didn't see the monster, we saw it like while he was running away, like from the edges of it.
Okay, yeah. I need to rewatch it again to see if there's any like corner bits that I missed. But yeah, I love movies that do that. I love like ones that don't. Like you just have to look at the dead center and everything's happening in the center. I like when everything's happening like on the outsides. It's awesome. And I do agree that the ending felt a bit abrupt. It was just kind of like bang bang done. Which is okay because again, this is an episode. In it, but it's also like a movie, so I wish it had like a smoother transition out. But it was still fantastic. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Still just a great watch, and I plan on rewatching it so soon. I just need to. I think my number would raise higher if I would have finished the entirety of the show before. So whenever I rewatch, but they changed that villain, this jumps up like 2 or 3 points. that villain really took me out of it sometimes. Popcorn tech.
Okay. So favorite scene in the movie, I've been waiting all episode to reveal this, is the very opening of the movie, because I loved the found footage bit. It was so because I was talking to Cody, I was like the Backrooms concept is made on found footage stuff, so that obviously needs to be in the movie, and I loved how it started with that. Well, the very first thing you see of the movie is Async's logo before the found footage loads onto the VHS, and I just was like, that's great detail. And then it cuts out, and you see the silhouette of Ivan Beck, and I actually gasped in that moment in the theater, and I felt kind of stupid for doing that because I'm a 24-year-old man who just gasped at the silhouette of a man. But like that's kind of like an impact, you know? Well, I gasped because like anytime you see Ivan Beck, it's that way in the show. He's always like watching. He's always watching. Yeah, he's here. No, I've been
Everyone check the corners.
But like he's just like watching found footage from something that happened in the rest of the series, and then it cuts away, and it just is like always showing that Ivan's watching at all times, and it's just his like good stuff. My second favorite scene is that Kane Pixels made this movie. I like him. That's good. That's good. It's good stuff. My funniest scene is whenever they're like the second found footage bit where they bring in the two friends. And the guy goes up to the girl and he goes, "It's crazy in here, dude. I feel high." And she goes, "You are high." And he goes, "Pot doesn't count." that was, I'm sorry, Austin, but that was so definitively the funniest moment in the movie.
I'm so close to getting to say that without anyone else bringing it up.
I know. I didn't think I was gonna last this long, Austin. I was so certain that everyone was gonna have that as their funniest scene. So
I know. I didn't even hear that.
Really?
I forgot about that.
That's news to me.
What?
I would have laughed.
Dude, it's so funny.
It is really funny. I'm really upset I forgot about it.
No, that was a good one. That actually had me cackling. But my least favorite scene is not an entire scene. It's like part of a scene, and I talked about it a little bit. And it's whenever they got over expository with the theme of the movie in the kitchen scene. Because like at that point in the movie, I was already kind of getting pulled out of it because I didn't like the way that Clark was acting, because I wasn't certain if I was sure he was still life yet. So I was like, if this is real Clark, I'm not sure if I like his personality. And then they just said why I watched the movie, and I kind of was like, really? Like, I kind of got it, you know? I got the idea of it already with making him crazy and killing his assistant manager or whatever, but I didn't need to be told this. So that just bothered me a little bit. And I know it's like a kind of a stupid thing, but I hate whenever movies do that. Summertime, I really like his show. It's obviously not like the craziest thing ever because it's not for everyone because of how detailed it is. Because the entire show, the story you put together yourself, because it's just seeing like a presentation that Async is showing the US government so they can get more money. Or we're just seeing like a clip of something that a researcher found and thinks like notes, oh, this might be important later. So it's not like we're getting told anything specifically or something like that. So it has such a fun and unique way of presenting the story. And I feel like that was really done pretty well in this movie, while also adding a narrative to it. And I really appreciated that because the show is all about Async, and this movie is also all about Async too, if you think about it in a way, because it starts and ends with Async while the Marcus Dupree stuff is like kind of dragging the movie across. And from the moment they get into the Backrooms to like the moment they appear, you can feel their impact because of them watching Clark and Mary and the other two, and then the caveman cutouts because they're like trying to trap in those people. And above all, this movie was made and thought through, and all the detail was put into it by obviously a group of people and Hollywood executives and all that stuff. But it started from a 15-year-old boy who just wanted to make a stupid, silly short film after school. And then he ended up making a fucking movie at the age of 18. And now he's 20 and he's doing press tours and he's talking more professionally than like the majority of directors that are out there. That is easily the best thing to come out of this movie. Regardless, if we all gave it a 1 out of 10, I think it's still an unbelievable success just because of how Kane has been carrying himself throughout this entire thing, making the movie, doing all the interviews and all that. It's so impressive. It's awesome. I love that the world is going in this direction. And I'm sorry that my summary is like barely talking about the movie and mainly talking about Kane, but like that's such a massive aspect of this movie because he was fucking 20. He was 18 whenever he put all of the detail into this movie. Most people don't even know what the Voyager Golden Record is, but he was like, I need to do this reference to aliens inside of my little like alien adjacent other dimension type thing. And that's such an incredible detail. I love that. It's so great. I have my problems with the movie. There are some aspects of the end that I wasn't like the biggest fan of, and I think some things either needed to be explained a little bit less or a little bit more. It doesn't make any sense. I'll explain it sometime in the future. But I think this movie is a solid 7.5 out of 10, but like a 7.5 out of 10 with the big smile emoji right next to it. I'm real happy about it. This is like the best 7.5 out of 10 one could possibly get, if that makes sense. All right, I'm tossing it over to Austin. That's the end of mine.
All right. I think I'm going to do the opposite approach of you, Zach. So I think I'm going to try to focus as much on the movie as possible.
As you
that's
should.
the main. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think what you talked about is very important and it's good context for the movie. And I think we've talked a lot about the kind of lore behind it in the TV show. So coming from someone who's very little exposure to all of that, I think it's good to get the other side of the aisle on that. But I'll start off with the 3 scenes. Funniest. I'm going to keep saying the one you said, Zach, because you actually said it slightly wrong, and I'm going to do a correction and add to it. Not because I'm trying to nitpick, but because I don't have another scene to do, so I need to throw some sort of additive in there. But the context was she was just like, "Oh, did he drug us? Did he put something in our drinks or whatever?" And he's like, "No, I think I know if I was high." And then she was like, "Oh, you are high." He's like, "Oh, hold on. What's exactly the way?" He said
pot doesn't count, I think.
And he's like, "Yeah, that doesn't count." And yeah, that's very small difference, but yeah, I thought that was funny. There's also another one with the leg, like him being the pirate leg thing. I was kind of criticizing that. I'm like, what? Why is he even doing the peg leg if he's still got his leg there? And then he's sitting in the chair and he just has his leg on the ground with the peg leg sticking up. I'm like, this guy doesn't know how to do an ad. Like, if you're going to commit to the peg leg, commit to the peg leg. Anyway, I think least favorite for me was him going to talk to the therapist after exploring the back rooms as much as he did. I think that made very little sense. And I understand that he's lonely and he doesn't have a lot of people in his life and he doesn't really have anyone else to go to. But he wasn't crazy to the point where I think he should have realized that there's no way anyone, especially a therapist, would believe him. Like, he has no proof whatsoever that the backrooms exist. And of course they're going to, like, a therapist has got to call him crazy for that stuff. Like, bring her to it or have someone else, like, like, do the stuff with his employees first. It felt very pushing the plot along of the movie. Like, he needed to present the information to her to think that he's crazy so that she shows up later and gets proven wrong. And I didn't really like that. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. Favorite, I think it's the whole found footage thing that everyone said, with specifically not the first one, but when going through with the employees, and specifically the end part of that, not just Captain Clark picking up the camera, but I really like the detail that she could see into the room, because on her side it was glass and he couldn't see her at all. And it just gives you this feeling of being trapped and helpless, but also that there's a little bit of hope on her end because she can see him. But I thought that was so cool and trippy, and I never would have thought that's a detail that would be in the back rooms. Go ahead.
I'm going to say one thing. So in Found Footage 3, there's a bit towards the middle of it. I heavily recommend watching because it's genuinely amazing. It's just 45 minutes of just found footage stuff. There's a bit where he walks into the copy of a house, but it's still connected to the actual house. And someone in the real house hears him walking around in his house and he yells, "Hey, you, get out of there." And they have like an actual conversation while standing in the same environment, but in 2 different dimensions. And then the guy in the real world tries to like break through a wall to get to where that guy is. And then he falls into the back rooms and ends up in a different spot. It's so good, dude. I heavily recommend watching that. If you like that part, you're going to love that.
I'm going to watch it all. And I mean, I think if nothing else, this movie makes me want to watch the TV show, and especially our conversation in it. But I guess getting into the summary part of it, I mean, I don't know if I really enjoyed watching this movie that much, to be honest, because once again, I didn't have a lot of background. I know the backstory of I wouldn't say no. I'm generally familiar with the backrooms, and I like that concept. And I think the movie very much relies on that being very interesting, because I don't think a lot of the rest of what's going on is very interesting. I think the acting is very good, but I think the characters themselves are pretty shallow. Like, the therapist is just kind of stereotypical therapist and is honestly very bad at her job.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the point. I think Clark is I think a little bit too crazy because he seems like a normal guy most of it, and I don't think the therapist's perspective on him is very fair. Like he seems to have kind of like yeah, he's kind of self-sabotaging and he's kind of an asshole, but he's not compared to a lot of people like beyond return. He's not like that. What?
You're thinking
you
of
think
Obsession whenever you say that. You're comparing
no,
it.
no, I'm not. I'm saying I think a lot of people like can go to therapy and present themselves in ways that are kind of, I mean, everyone has their own view of themselves, and I think a lot of people are kind of crazy when it comes to how they see themselves and kind of victimize themselves in a lot of ways. And he did that in some ways, but I think there were still very relatable ways of doing that.
I agree.
Like he justified his own drinking, and I think he had fair points in his marriage. I mean, if he paid for the full house and his wife's schooling and she wasn't doing anything with it, like he's an asshole. I'm not trying to defend him, but also you can understand the anger that comes from that situation. And for me, like Sky, I think your point regarding like Captain Clark being not that scary is very valid in the context of the whole series, but it kind of makes sense for me for him not to be that scary in this movie because he's almost sympathetic, and I think it's cool that you can see that he's just a dramatized version of himself because like he's already eating people, so you can see that jump to him eating like actual people. He's not like getting superpowers as he's being re-remembered by the Backrooms. He's just kind of becoming this grotesque version of himself. And I don't think he needs to be scary in this movie because the scary part of the Backrooms is that you could be running into a dead end wherever you go. You don't know. Like it's not that he's like this intimidating fast threat. It's that the Backrooms is really the scary part, and he's this slow, creeping, crawling thing that will get you eventually because you don't know where you're going. But yeah, I'm kind of going on a little rant here, but I think the concept's really cool. It makes me want to watch the show. I think the movie itself, in a vacuum, it falls short on the aspects a lot of horror movies fall short in the characters and things like that. But it was a cool concept, and I do think with the context of the director being like a child, which I get he's 20, he's not a child, but like he is.
I'm a child. I'm 24, so he definitely is.
Yeah. We're all children at heart.
That's a life
but
experience.
yeah,
staying
I
at an
mean,
age.
I think it was good. I don't think it was anything crazy as a standalone movie, but it was a really cool concept, and I appreciate the thought that went into it. So I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I think honestly, I think I was closer to a 6 before we talked about it. It's been steadily going up. I would recommend it. I think it's a fun watch, mostly, at very least, a really cool concept with flaws, but every movie has its flaws. So yeah, recommend it. It's cool. Yeah,
I would agree with you if I did not know the villain from the show. I would.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, specifically in the context of the movie, I like, you're right, I'm sure, as far as the TV show goes, but I'm like, in the movie, I'm like, I get it. I can
whenever you watch it,
I'll come back to you.
Yeah, we can get back to it.
I also think the still lifes in the show are more scary than this still life because, like, there was one. I keep mentioning Found Footage 3, but it's where most of the scares come from in the series. There's a bit where it's just like full on like sprinting at the main character, and he closes a door, but since it's memories, it sees a door and it knows that humans should do something at a door. So the second he closes the door and runs away, he turns around and looks at it, and the still life just knocks on the door. And then he's like, what the fuck is going on? And then it like, you see it like turn the door handle a little bit and open up. And I'm like, that's way scarier because it's like, it has somewhat sentience.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
The Mediak average for this is a 7.375, so 7.5.
Yes.
Fantastic. Absolute recommend. Definitely watch.
Going from Backrooms talk into news. So we're going to be talking about the Backrooms 2. Like unironically. So you guys have seen people talk about how Kane is working on Backrooms 2 and he's looking for a new screenwriter. Have you seen that post? It's been happening a lot, right? Anything?
I have not actually.
Oh.
I've been seeing the news with the Obsession writer's second movie.
Oh. Well, he's not actually writing Backrooms 2. That was a lie. I don't know how anyone came up with, like, big news places were actually, like, talking about it. So I screenshotted it and was like, oh, that's crazy. I didn't think he would be working on that so soon. But then yesterday in an interview, he was asked about it and he said, not sure where that got out. That's more like a hallucination. And I thought that was quite funny. Like, he's definitely going to continue it. He's probably going to make another movie if we're being for real. But, like, I don't know. It's too soon for him to have 100% thought of that. He did talk about making a Portal movie. He asked about someone. I was like, "What would you like to make?" And he was like, "I would very much like to make a Portal movie because that's where a lot of my inspiration came from. Was that series?" I'm like, I see it. A lot of Portal stories is told from you just reading shit on walls or finding it yourself, and then it's like liminal spaces. It's all like white, and like I could totally see him making an unbelievable Portal movie. That I would love that. Next news. I saw a trailer for a movie called Yeah, go ahead, Sky.
I saw this. I'm gonna go back to the Obsession director.
Yeah.
In like an interview, they were obviously talking about the One Wish Willow, and essentially the question was, like, it led to the path of, would you show other people making a wish from One Wish Willow, instead of just these people? And he was like, essentially opened up to like, yeah, he would, he kind of likes the idea of making it like a 10 episode TV show, and each episode follows a different wish. So that was something that he opened up and talked about a little bit. I don't know if it's coming to fruition or something, but it could be something based on the success of the movie that could be interesting for certain companies to pick up.
Zach's not having any of that.
Well, we'll talk about it in a little bit. Amazon. Curry Baker's making Anything But Ghosts with Aaron Paul and Bryce Dallas Howard. He already filmed that. It's being edited, coming out early 2027. Amazon is making a fully AI TV series. Well, 3 TV series that are fully AI through a new all AI generated child production company. So they're all children's shows called, where are the stupid names for them? Punky Duck, George, I don't even know what that second word is, not going to try it. Love Diana, Music Hunters. Oh wait, there's another one. Cupcake and Friends. Those are the shows we're getting.
Anyone? Yay, AI slop shows.
Yay, yeah. If you show your kids those shows, you're a bad parent. Just straight up. Like, I feel like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You're just a bad parent. Show them something that they can learn from.
That's like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, like
Scooby-Doo. Like a lot of older people like aren't able to pick up on AI, or like they'll just watch it and be like, wow, this is great, not knowing that like completely generated.
They shouldn't be parents then. If you're too stupid to like make deciding factors for your kids, then you shouldn't be a parent.
I'm not necessarily talking about parents. I was just like that was just me leading up to, it doesn't stop there, y'all. Even Scout's affected. Oh,
Scout likes the AI videos? I mean, she's a dog.
Yeah, she likes watching dog videos, so I put on a dog video last night when I got home. And it was completely AI generated. Like, it was like 6 5-second scenes on repeat for 8 hours. It was one of those 8-hour like videos you probably leave on for your dog when you go to work or something. And she just loved it all.
So what you're saying is that people who like AI are as dumb as a dog?
Oh no!
That's basically what you said, and I agree with it fully. If you watch AI videos like Scout does, and you're as stupid as a dog.
Oh, she's catching straight.
You said you watched videos, Zach.
Well, yeah, I watched the skateboarding Clark. I did 2 of those. I thought they were funny.
He has insight. He's not oblivious or ignorant.
Yeah, I know they're AI, and I'm trying not to watch them, but they're really stupid.
I think the animated stuff, I think we should give people a little bit of grace, because I get like, yeah, you're dumb if you watch that, but I don't think animated stuff you can tell nowadays unless you've been very familiar with the process. Like, I think we can, and we can kind of see the weird uncanniness of some of the animation, but if you haven't followed AI's development, there's no way you're going to be able to tell like an animated kid series versus one that was made by people. Like, I guess that's
fair, but it's still going to be bad.
I'm sure it's going to be awful, but I'm not defending that, but just people might not know.
Like to your point, like with animation, like you're like it is like difficult to tell, but something about it just looks off.
Because it's
And,
Oh, I agree. For us, I think we can get that. But like, if like mom, like I if we showed a bunch of like AI kids videos and real kids TV show videos, there's no way anyone above the age of like 40 is going to be able to. I'd say even above 50% call out whether it's AI or real.
You're probably right. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it really doesn't matter because most people don't care.
I saw one that was live action, like it wasn't even animated, and it was completely realistic, like entirely. The only reason you don't know that it was like that it was AI, it's about like them cutting off like some plastic around like penguins, like the can, like the plastic that holds like six pack together, had like one of those around the penguin's neck. They cut it off, but the only reason it's AI is because like there's a penguin that appears and disappears as it's like walking behind. Only way it's AI. Other than that, like the people in there, them laughing, them smiling, all of it looks to a T real. But it's the background that it's AI, and it's still like such a minor detail that you completely glaze over it.
I like the first Captain Clark video I watched. I couldn't tell if it was someone that just dressed up in the suit to do it until I looked at his feet and his peg leg switched legs at one bit, and I was like, that's an AI.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry is getting a third season. The second season just dropped. They said it's always been Dante's Divine Comedy. Season 1 was Inferno, season 2 is Purgatorio, and season 3 will be Paradiso, which is cool. I haven't seen season 3 yet, so I guess we shall see. This isn't really news. I just thought it was funny. Me and Skylar have a jailbroken cable box, and it gives ratings out of 10 on movies. And I saw that Master of the Universe has a 1 out of 10 rating, and I thought that was quite funny.
What?
I've heard it's quite good. I'm very excited to watch it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but I just thought it was really funny that's what it had on the cable box. I saw a trailer for
Leto.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, I've heard he does a really good job in the movie, but I really hate that, gonna be honest.
Because you don't see his face.
Yeah, I've heard it's funny though. I saw a trailer for How to Rob a Bank, which looks really good. Really excited for that. And
great.
then you saw the trailer for that?
That looks really fun. Who's it made by? It's like by the creators of a couple other good
Amazon is funding it, which is a little bit.
Well, Amazon
weird.
funded Project Hail Mary.
No, I know, but like Amazon, the giant multi-billion-dollar corporation, is funding the movie that is
about robbing
about
banks.
Getting well, it's not just robbing banks. It's about like distribution of wealth and how people are hoarding it, and they want to help the lower class, and it's Amazon doing it.
The dude doing How to Rob a Bank made Bullet Train.
Oh, that was it.
Guys.
Yes,
Wow,
you're right. And Deadpool 2. Yeah.
Yeah, Violent Night. Wow.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, I'm excited for that. We saw a trailer for God of War Laufey. I like and dislike aspects of that trailer. I like everything except for Jack Quaid.
Cube.
Yeah.
No, fuck you. Fuck you. Jack Quaid's perfect.
I love Jack Quaid. I love Jack Quaid more than anything. I just hate...
Yeah, don't praise it like that.
I just hate that it's a stupid cube named Frank in this Norse mythology game.
I can't wait to see what god he ends up being, and it's one of those like,
it's totally
just a cube because he was sentenced to be a cube for 3 millennia, and then he's like actually Zeus or something.
Yeah,
like
it's named Frank, and it's spelled differently. It's like PHRAQUE Frank. Yeah, whatever, stupid things. All right, I'm done with news. I'm out of it. There's a bunch of other games that were announced, but I just wanted to talk about that one specifically.
A Cuphead 2. I don't know if you said that.
I didn't, but it was like Mighty One. That one's, instead of being like old cartoony style, it's going to be 16-bit style, which looks really cool. And Final Fantasy 7-3. So
did not hear about this somehow.
Yeah,
I wanted to make sure that one got on there because that's so huge for you.
Yeah,
I love Cuphead.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't watch any of the announcements. How dare you, Chandler? You evil man.
Do we want to make...
I try and stay away from him sometimes.
Do we want to make Obsession different than what we watch, or do we just want to...
Yeah, I guess we can just talk about it right now. Austin, I was really disappointed with it. I'm going to be honest.
Wait, are you talking about Obsession?
Yeah.
I'm going to chillax with Scout for a few seconds. Just give me like the thumbs up.
Okay, we'll thumbs up. Yeah. So wow, that's
I'm
really
disappointed.
bright. That's really bright.
Jen, Chan's story with this, which I think he forgot to tell. So the drive-in that like I sent to the chat, like if you wanted to watch both, you can watch both. He went, and apparently it was still an option whenever he went like a little later, but he went with a group of friends and they outvoted him and watched
Scary
it was
movie.
either Scary Movie, Scary Movie 7 or Scary Movie 6. So he got that instead, and then his friends were like, "Chandler, you were right. We should have watched the other one instead afterward." So he missed out on that for Scary Movie.
Bro.
So that is
If I was
super
Chan.
unfortunate story, and which literally whenever he told me that earlier, well, he was on here. I just think you two were gone.
Yeah.
I was like, Chandler, if I were you, I would either bully your friends for the rest of eternity or get new ones.
Yeah.
Frankly,
Yeah,
straight up.
insane.
Well,
They gotta
I
sum
mean,
that after that point.
well, between that and them making fun of him for enjoying the movie, like, oh, dude, I could not be around those people. I could not be around those people. That would make me so upset. It's crazy. Dude, so I was disappointed with Obsession. I could not picture any universe where any of the scary movies are even slightly better than that movie. Why would you ever vote for Scary Movie over that? Like, ooh, that I was so ooh, that's stupid.
What were you disappointed about?
It was pretty stereotypical for the most part. Like, so there's a theory going around that the soul of the cat or whatever went into the. I know that you might believe in that because you probably saw it on TikTok or whatever. But Curry Baker said that's not true. He said that she just acted more cat-like because she noticed that he likes his cat, and that's it. That's the entire like point of her eating the cat food, putting the cat in whatever. But I think that the inciting it. So first off, I guess I should start off from the beginning of it because I'm all over the place right now. I didn't know anything about the movie. I thought the movie was about someone who was stalking someone, and that is way scarier to me than whatever this is in the movie. And the second he snapped it, I was like, I mean, all right, like I can be convinced into this being good. But then she just went insane. And it's not even like he said, I wish she was crazy for me, or I wish she was mad in love with me, or something like that. He said, I wish she loved me more than anyone else in the world. So then she dug up the cat and put it in the living room. So she cooked the cat and put it into his sandwiches and was just like being absurdly insane. And I know that a lot of the moments were Nikki coming out and that's her real personality coming through and stuff like that. But a lot of it was just her being fucking crazy for the sake of scaring the audience. And I really didn't like that at all. That was insanely disappointing to me. Go ahead, Scott. Yeah.
So immediately after, because for context, I watched this like last night, and I was texting Zach during the movie because I know he watched it. So I was like texting him about it, and immediately after, like I finished the movie and we like stopped texting for like a little bit. I saw it's Seth Baker.
Curry Baker.
Curry Baker. I don't know why I keep getting Seth. Curry Baker gave an interview, and he like more so explained the wish. It like they asked. It was a dumb question because it was answered in the movie. It was a very dumb question by the interviewer, but they said, "Can anybody beat the One Wish Willow?" In which you see the movie, the guy behind the counter beat the One Wish Willow. He's completely fine. He said he made a wish.
Yeah.
First thing he brought up.
Also, technically, his friend beat it by not having a stupid wish, and then also not having the wish. Look at Bear's wish is stupid, but it also was it was more stupid than what he actually wished for. So like if the monkey paw doesn't decide to do some stupid bullshit, then I guess you could have a fine enough wish. Go ahead.
He like the way he explained it is that Bear wished for a change of like self, like a change for self and self-will. So it wasn't the same one. It was a new oh my gosh, I'm blanking so bad.
Oh, Nikki.
Yes, wish for a new Nikki, essentially. And that's why there were two different versions. But I still don't think that would make her that crazy.
He was mainly addressing, because like people thought it was like a ghost possession, or people thought that it was the cat possessing her. But he was mainly just saying that it's like a split person, like from the movie Split. It's like having another person up in there. And I don't think that comes even close to properly addressing why she went insane. And also,
I don't either.
Go ahead, Austin. Yeah.
Oh no, keep going with what you're saying. I'll address it after.
I also don't think the movie was scary at all because Bear was never in danger. And also, anytime he was in danger, I wanted him to die because the subject matter was one of the worst subject matters I've ever seen in a movie ever, just because of how uncomfortable it makes you. And it leads for two different things. You're going to be like, oh my God, he is just assaulting her for the entire movie for months on end. Or if you're a fucking idiot watching this movie, you're going to be like, oh, dude, Nikki's insane, dude, or like something like that, which I don't know if you've seen people have that reaction. It's mind blowing to me. I've seen people completely on Bear's side and I don't understand the subject matter of the movie because either you're not going to get scared of the scene and then be in support of what's happening in the movie, or you're just going to be so uncomfortable at the subject matter. Like I never, ever, ever, literally ever want to watch this movie again because of the subject matter of the movie. It's just so gross.
I don't understand where you're coming. Like I get where you're saying he's like assaulting her, and that's like 100% fair, and he's like awful. Like Bear's the worst person ever, and he's continually shown to be a terrible human being. But like, I think that's like the point.
No, I know that. I'm not saying it's not the point of the movie. I'm just saying, like, why would you want to watch a movie about a girl getting assaulted for the entire movie? It's like, have you heard of the movie ᵒᵇΗ that's about two children getting tortured by a ghost?
No.
Well, I watched half of it and I was like, this is undeniably scary, but why the fuck am I watching this? Because it's so upsetting. Like, I feel that same way with this movie.
I think that's a fair response, honestly. Like, I think the movie and the concept just entertaining, and I think part of him, like, it's not, I'm trying to argue that it's like not assault, but like in like the way he created a new person, or the one which Willow created a new person. And it's not really her.
But her story, dude, her story, she said that she like felt everything and she knows all about it. And because she she made it into Hansel and Gretel, it shows that like literally from the start, she always viewed him as a brother. So it's literally like her brother-like figure is just her every single night, like she was saying. Oh, I said the word. Crap. I'll edit that out.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad.
2 hours. Well, I know it's bad. And like, I don't understand why YouTube doesn't allow us to say that word whenever it's just in relation to the topic of whatever we're talking about. It's not like, it's just whatever. Sorry, I'm writing down the time so that I remember to go back for this.
Yeah, you're fine. I think just the bleep will be good.
Yeah, I will. I'll just make it mute.
I might say one thing about what you're saying with her going to the extremes. I think the phrasing of how he said it, and obviously it's like a monkey's paw, genie in a model situation where he takes the extreme of whatever he's saying. But like the way he phrased it was, I want Nikki to love me more than anyone else in the world. And I think there are some weird people, like when you think about people who love celebrities or are obsessed with celebrities, they do some crazy shit just to like get their hair or bathwater or weird shit. Yeah, but
so cooking the cat is different, you know? I think that's completely different than that. Because it's not like she's doing anything about, like, I didn't have a problem with her cutting his hair while he slept. I didn't have a problem with her looking at him while she slept because I thought that made sense. But like, I just can't understand how that wish, like, literally just changing the words of the wish. Like, I wish she was crazy for me.
Or she's upset. Not make it obsessed because that's the name of the movie.
Yeah.
But like a synonym of obsessed. But I also think there's two different ways to interpret that wish. Is it like Nikki will love him more than anybody loves anybody else in the world, or is it Nikki will love him more than anybody Nikki loves?
That's a great point,
and I agree with you, and that's what I'm saying is I think that the one wish will takes the former of those two. That's
So you think it's more than anybody loves anybody?
No, totally.
Yeah, that's how I took it as.
Yeah. But like, I still just don't like it, and I think I was talking to Skylar about this. I think my biggest negative towards the movie, and it's towards myself, is that I saw Backrooms first. And Kane is 20 years old, and it had so much detail, and it wasn't a normal movie, and it was like pure art. While whenever I was watching this one, it was just a horror movie. That's really all it was to me.
Comedy. It was a good horror comedy mix.
Yeah,
it
was so funny.
I don't want to bash his comedy. His comedy
It was so funny.
Dude, Trevor's gonna kick me because whenever we were talking about this movie, I'm stealing his funniest moment. Whenever he's leaving for work and it hard cuts to the door, just comically covered in duct tape.
Yeah,
that was so funny.
Crazy.
That was so funny because it was covering the parts of the door that's like wood. Like, why is it? Like, why is it?
I'm like, that's not an efficient use of duct tape at all. And she's just like, yeah, like you could just stay. And he's like,
dude,
no.
Dude, whenever she said that line, because like it stayed on that same shot of the door, and it was just her off screen being like, if you're having problems with the door, you could just stay. That got me. I was cackling. I thought that was so funny.
I laughed so hard at the I wish for $1 billion.
Dude, that was
it just falls and you can't trot. Just like that.
Yeah.
And the guy just having money, like occasionally hit him in the face. He's like looking up. It was fantastic. It stayed so long, and that made it so much funnier. Like in reality, it was probably like a minute or two of like movie time, but it felt like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And it was good for all of them. And then I got $1 million and it's
Boom!
real. And then boom, yeah. Fantastic. Like as much as I think this is like a more stereotypical horror movie, the comedy in it is
the
so
comedy's
good.
great.
I think it's just entertaining. Like that's where I'm coming from with the movie. Is I had the opposite perspective as you, Zach. I saw Obsession first and then the Backrooms, and I think the Backrooms for me was slightly underwhelming because I liked Obsession that much. Like I thought it was just entertaining. Like every moment in the movie. Like I think your perspective of being uncomfortable with the whole concept and everything, what's happening, Nikki, 100% valid. And I get that. I'm like I just feel like scene by scene in the movie, it was so uncomfortable. It was entertaining. It was so funny at some points, and also just like freaky. Like I did think it was scary at a lot of times. Her backwards walk and her smile and how she framed things, like you didn't like that?
I hated the bedroom scene, but I did really, 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 really like the way she did that like reverse walk at the end of the movie. I thought that was incredible. But I hated the bedroom scene. It made me so upset.
What, like in the corner, or
yeah, because it was just for the audience. Like again, Bear was never in danger the entire movie. I didn't feel tense in that because he knows.
I don't think he should have ever been in danger because
no, I know he shouldn't have been, but like, what's the tension in that then? Because what's she gonna do?
I think it's
nothing.
her.
It's uncomfortable. Well, I don't care if it's like a 7-year-old boy. Like think about like creepy kids. Most of the time, like I could just punt that kid, but that doesn't make it less uncomfortable.
It does to me. I don't think Chucky's scary all that much because like you can just pick him up and just launch him. Like I don't think like I'm weird. Trevor said that my brain is he used the Backrooms quote. He said my brain is wired wrong because I can't watch horror movies correctly because I need them to make sense. And like the second something doesn't add up, I'm immediately emotionally detached from the movie entirely. Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I fought to not do one of these during the movie while I was watching it until the very end, whenever I couldn't help myself and I just was like, whatever.
Maybe it was just with me, but the tension wasn't from Bear being in danger. It was more so from Nikki being in danger, endangering herself. That's like where I felt the tension whenever she would like hit herself or start like freaking out.
Yeah, but that was like literally the last third of the movie. That was only the last third of the movie.
It was, but like, I don't think that was a problem for it being the last third because the beginning portion, you're seeing how Bear is such an asshole. Like literally lost her crystal necklace. He goes in to buy a crystal necklace and decides I'm going to wish for her to love me instead. So immediately there. And then like you're learning more about the friend group. You see they all work together. You see that he just lost his cat and he's still going out to trivia because like they wanted him to, whatever, right? Like peer pressure. He gives into peer pressure. He clearly cannot think on his own because the second somebody brings up that it's an issue, he just completely disregards it entirely and tries to bring up something else.
Like,
I don't even
So,
know if that's
you're
thinking
seeing
on
how
his
much of
own.
an
I think
asshole.
he's just like a pure. The movie was like, what if we just take any Redditor and give him the ability to make this terrible wish, and he's just gonna keep to the actual
was something
point
else
that he
I
was on
liked. All
Reddit.
the
Yeah,
different, it was called Threadit, and then they had like instead of Chrome, it was Probe. It was great, like subtle references to everything. I liked how he renamed everything.
Yeah.
And then I think the bar at the beginning was literally his last name. I think it was just Baker's Bar.
Yeah, it was.
It was
Yeah.
fantastic. Yeah,
It
I think
was. I
that was
thought that
really
was fun.
cool. But like, I think a lot of the important parts of the movie are seeing how terrible a person he is, seeing Nikki, seeing how the friend group is affected, and then later on in the third half, whenever he's trying to push everybody away essentially because he just wants him and Nikki, and he is like freaking out because Nikki isn't exactly Nikki, but he doesn't care because she's in love with him. Like then that's when the tension starts coming up. You see Nikki actively hurting herself, and he's starting to get worried because she's hurting herself.
Yeah, but my problem with that is that they try to make Nikki scary in the beginning and middle of the movie, and I just don't think that works, personally.
I think she is scary. I think she is, like you said, if there was like a stalker or something, like she has that aspect to her where it's like, okay, yeah, maybe she's not a huge physical threat per se, but like she can still do things that will mess you up.
Yeah, but it's
and mess
different
up the
'cause it's,
people
like,
around her.
a
Like
magical
she literally
wish.
killed 2 people.
I know that,
gets
but that okay. That happened after the bedroom scene, and 2, the way that the magic worked in my head, I never ever thought she was ever going to harm him. While if it was a physical, real stalker, people who are like that mentally broken that they would stalk like that, I think they would in real life. The guy who stalked Miranda Cosgrove was gonna kill her, blow up her house, and burn himself, but she wasn't home, so he just burned himself. I like the concept of that is just like terrifying to me. And if that could have happened at any point in that bedroom scene, I think there would have been some tension. It would have been kind of scary, but she just wanted to watch him.
I don't view it as a stalker. It gives off stalker energy. I'll agree there. Stalker energy. But like the way I see it is she was an like immensely overprotective dog. The second anything got too close, she like would attack that. But she would never hurt her, like, I don't want to say owner, but like she would never hurt that person. Like,
Yeah,
would
but
never hurt the
again,
person
that
she
still
lived
doesn't
with.
make the scene that I'm talking about I don't like any better.
No, but I'm saying like I understand, like maybe trying to rationalize why Nikki would never hurt Bear was because it was like more of the overprotective dog owner relationship.
No,
than
totally. I never
like
had a problem with
stalker.
her not like. My problem isn't that she's gonna attack Bear. I know that she's not. I just think that the movie tried to make scary scenes where they wouldn't be scary, at least to me.
You're like, okay, G gets up in the middle of the night and is in the corner of your room just staring at you. You wouldn't be freaked out?
Dude, you did that to me in high school, and I didn't give a shit.
I did that to you?
Yeah, you did that to
I
you.
did. No, that was, I just stood in the corner. It wasn't like middle of the night. Like I just like did some
It was
weird
kind of
shit.
middle of the night.
But,
It was like 11 o'clock.
I'd be terrified. Like anyone does that to me and is watching me in the corner of the room. I don't care if they're 5 foot flat, like 60 pounds. Like I'm gonna be freaked out. Like
if I know for like 100% certainty that I'm not gonna be in danger at all, I'm fine. If I go, what are you doing? She goes, I'm just watching you. I'd probably be like, that's a little weird, and I go back to sleep.
But like from an outside perspective that she isn't gonna hurt him. But like
he also knows he made the wish.
Fear.
To me, that's where fear comes from. To me, there's okay. We're in the Trevor situation here. We're gonna try to. If we're just explaining our sides of the story repeatedly.
I think we just have differing opinions.
It's impossible for us to. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
totally.
I
get where you're coming from.
I think
this movie.
Go ahead, sorry.
Sorry. I think this movie does have scary parts in it that I think do work. Again, like standing in the corner at night, like sometimes like that would freak me out personally. In the movie, I didn't find it too scary, but like in real life, I would find that terrifying. But like the like excessive violence that she had at times was like a little like eye opening. Like isn't the scariest movie ever, but it induced enough like stress that like whenever I was watching it to get me satisfied with the horror comedy mix. But I still wouldn't mark this as terribly scary. But
I was thinking more like a thriller aspect to it. Like I wouldn't. Yeah,
Genres
I
or
don't know.
whatever. Okay, we've been talking about this for a while. We can get Chandler back and talk about what we're watching.
go back. Okay.
Quick summary. Whenever I finished the movie, I was gonna give it like a 3.5, 4 out of 10. But right now, I think I'm gonna give it like a 5.5, 6. No definitive numbers because we're not actually reviewing it.
yeah, I think I'm at like 6.5, 7. I think as I see more of Curry Baker talk about it, I kind of want to raise it a little bit more because I just really like the guy.
He apparently
so I'm
stole
probably
like a
6.5,
skit from
7.
someone, but I don't know anything about it, so I don't care.
I'm going 8.5. I really enjoyed the movie.
That's fair.
I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Completely fair rating.
Chandler.
What? Roughly a 7. Roughly 6.5. 7.
Something like that.
Fair. I think that's fair. Scout, if you can hear us.
Scout, Chandler.
Scout, come back.
Skylar, I'm gonna keep my thumbs up. You could just ask one of us.
Okay.
I'm here.
Hey.
Oh,
Chandler!
Sorry.
I gotta pee actually, and we're going. So I'm just.
We're scouting it up. Yeah. Scout, what have you been watching?
She was actually watching y'all for a second. She was like, whoever was talking, she'd be like looking at the green outline. She must have understood what that meant because she'd be like this.
damn. Okay, Scout.
Yeah, she's very observant. She's probably waiting for the dog to show up on the screen. She watches a lot of Hallmark with my mom.
All right, Ken. Let's with what you've been watching. We're excited. I already told your story. I told your story about the driving.
I'm so sorry, Ken. That's so tough.
Tragic. I know. I really wanted to. I was so excited because you showed me the lineup, and I was like, no way, back to back. And then it switched, and I'm stupid. You told him about the fact that it was also still showing Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. I looked at only screen 1, and it was like, oh, scary movie now, and then the day of, it's like, wait a second. There's still a chance. But no one wanted to go. Well, no one voiced their opinion. Mm-hmm. Until after we watched Scary Movie and was like, Chan, you're right. We should have watched. It's like, a little too late.
I told him we need new friends.
Yeah.
After that.
If I'd have gone with y'all, I know we would have watched. We would have watched some. Oh my gosh. Speaking of, I saw Scary Movie. Horrible. Personally, horrible. I'm not a fan of that sort of stuff. Out of 10?
Out of 10, yeah.
I'd probably give it like a 3, maybe a little lower. There's only one character. I like Shorty. If that rings a bell, I guess he's in a lot of other ones. They were just riding off of their prior fame. They kept saying why didn't you invite me to the 3rd and 4th film? Well, why didn't you invite me to the 1st and 2nd film? It's like they couldn't bring up. They couldn't help themselves bring up the former Scary Movies. It was a bunch of buns. They also had a lot of references that weren't horror films. Like they had Ballerina in there with Ana de Armas, like the John Wick universe. That wasn't that reference was in the movie, even though it wasn't horror adjacent. I don't know. Regardless, wasted time. Not as much as The Witch, but
your friends
that's crazy.
Suck. Your friends actually suck, by the way.
I'm
gonna brush aside your stupid ass opinion, but your friends are terrible. It's crazy that they would make fun of you for enjoying a movie, and then they outvoted you on one of the worst movies to release in the last 5 years.
I know. One of my friends afterwards Chan, you're right. I should listen to you, but two things. One, it's too late to say that, and two, I it's what would we think? I don't know.
Chandler, I didn't even like Obsession all that much, and I would watch Obsession, and those two, I said my thing about Obsession. I would watch Obsession 1,000 times before I'd watch anything past Scary Movie 2. It's just
that's the only one I've ever seen is Scary Movie 2. So I really had no. Well, I was not eager, or I was not looking forward to this movie whatsoever. I had no attachment to it. I wouldn't have watched it outside of this. So I guess that was my saving grace. I'm watching a movie I'm never going to watch. So I'll find a way to watch Obsession.
Yeah.
But also I switched. The Backrooms was before Scary Movie because I kind of was falling asleep during the Backrooms. Which is crazy because
you could have taken a nap during Scary Movie and been ready for Backrooms.
One person wanted to watch Scary Movie, ended up hating it, said I was right, and then fell asleep during the Backrooms.
Dude, your friends suck. I hate them. What the hell? Why are they still your friends?
That's a little bit extreme, man.
That person may or may not be my roommate.
Oh, no.
What did you watch Scary Movie?
Friendships.
Mike!
He thought he'd like it, but
Mike!
he wasn't a fan of it afterwards.
Has he seen any of them?
I think so, but probably whenever he like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Probably thought that was gonna be funny, but it really just was stupid. Like it really was stupid. There really wasn't much funny things about it. It was riding off of its prior fame. Like they were bringing all the returning actors and actresses. And sorry, I spent way too much time talking about Scary Movie, more than I ever wanted to. I just wanted to say I watched it and moved on, but like feel bad that I gave it like 2 minutes of fame there. Real quick, I'll just splurge through all these. I've been playing a lot of Crimson Desert. I have over 100 hours in the game right now, and I don't think I'm halfway yet with its entirety. Like
Are
the
you even
story
in
mode,
the desert?
I just got there. I just got there, but I'm not really doing much there because there's like you'll beat an area and then move on to other stuff, and then like other side quests pop up, and it's just I'm literally doing all those, and it's pure boss fight after boss fight. I had maybe my most favorite boss fight in any game I've ever played. Ever.
Did you see the thing I sent you the other day?
Huh?
Did you see? I can't remember if I sent it 2 days ago or yesterday or whatever. They're doing a overhaul to the story, so I'd honestly say stop playing it and see if that changes the story whenever you come back.
I'm like already pretty far into it. If anything, it just warrants a replay, but I don't think it's going to change it that much. If anything, they're just going to make things not so quick, I'd assume, because things move on quickly. And also there's 3 characters in the game, by the way, guys, but one of them, you pretty much need to do everything. You can't use the other 2 characters. They're kind of side characters almost. They're playable, but like if you want to do a mission, you have to play that as the main character, even though they're all main characters, if that makes sense. So I don't play as them. Bottom line, I don't put any stuff into them. I don't put any effort because the main guy is what you need to do all these missions. So why would I? Although I think they're really fun and cool. Like I don't know. You have to play them at some parts, but regardless, over 100 hours, it's so much fun. Perfect blend of Red Dead and Breath of the Wild.
Bless you all.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Other than that, I've been watching Saving Private Ryan. I never seen it before. I've heard great things, and I have like 30 minutes left. I'm at the very end almost. It's free on YouTube. So that's how I'm watching it.
Iron Lungs on YouTube.
Huh?
Iron Lungs on YouTube now.
Wait, like officially now?
Yeah,
Nice.
Mark. The last couple of weeks has been updating us. He said it's been impossible to get it onto a streaming service, but he's been working on it with YouTube. And then last week he said it's finally up. And then movies you could.
I might watch that like today. I need to do that. Like
I'm probably
now.
gonna watch it tomorrow morning.
That might be my.
Have you guys never seen?
No, I haven't seen it. No.
No, I was a fake fan. I didn't go to the theater.
Yeah.
And I made a big deal about it. We went like day 1, I think.
I'm trying to watch more than just the podcast movie every week. So I guess that might be a theme for the next couple what we watchings or whatever. Is that everything, Chandler?
No, one more. I haven't been playing this, but my friend has, and I've been like watching him stream it. It's called Don't Sleep with the Fishes. It's like
Mafia
an indie
based?
game. No, that's what I thought too. After just watching The Godfather last week, that's what I thought. But no, it's an indie game where like your ship capsizes, so you have like 40 seconds to run around and either grab person, bait, food, scuba. It's like just a bunch of equipment, but you have like no time, and you have to also get on the little boat before the time expires. And then it's just like a random event kind of game where day by day you have to feed yourself.
Feed the other person.
Yeah. If you bring someone, you have to feed them. If you don't, you'll get hungry as the days go on. So you have to feed yourself. You can fish. You can scuba. You can like dive for stuff. But when you go to sleep, random stuff can happen. Like a kraken can show up, or like a bunch of scary monsters can show up, like a siren. And sometimes like you have to use an umbrella to protect yourself and sleep, like hide behind and sleep, or shine a flashlight at them to scare them off, or throw your anchor at something to like kill it. But you also need that anchor whenever it's stormy. So now your anchor's broken. It's a lot of like, but like there's like a lot of butterfly effect almost. Not really, but it's like cause and relationship, cause and effect kind of thing. And it's a lot of strategy based. It's very difficult, but it's really fun. It's just an indie game though. It's just an indie game. Well, I shouldn't say like that. It's like a small game is what I mean. It's something crazy, but it's still really fun. It packs a punch. But other than that, that's all I'm watching and doing. It's been so much Crimson Desert. I've spent way too much time on that game, and I don't regret it.
So Austin.
Yes, Scott.
Why didn't
What
I think
have you
Austin
been
went
watching?
already?
Because you left whenever he was about to ask me, but then Chan showed up, so yes, Chan.
Yeah.
I've not been watching a whole lot. I'm still on the Pursuit of Jade, the like Chinese drama.
Right.
I'm like watched like one episode of that. I need to lock in with that because I'm not even halfway through, and I'm slowing down. But I will this week. I have more time because I was like busy doing this like 3D printing project thing that I was working on a lot of the week. So when I had time, I was just doing that and I was listening to stuff, and I kind of reverted, or I should say relapsed a little bit to Dungeon Crawler Carl. I basically listened to a whole nother book again. Like it's just nice to not be able to think because I don't have to lock in at all. I'm just like doing something physically like painting or sanding or whatever. I can just have on a book that like it's just like rewatching an episode. So I've just had that on in the background instead of opening or expanding my horizons and doing something new. So I was just listening to the book for Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I've just listened to the entirety of it now. Other than that, what was it? What else? Oh, the Full Metal Alchemist like not follow-up TV show, but from the same creator. It's like Daemons of the
Shadow.
I keep forgetting that.
Daemons of the
Shadow Realm or something like that. Yeah, that's it. I'm never confident when I say that, but yeah, it's good. I'd recommend. Not a whole ton of episodes out. It's interesting. I'm curious where this is going to go, but yeah, I'm like caught up to the dub in that now. But I think that's about it on my side. It's been a busy week for me, so not a lot of watching stuff. But thank you for asking anyway.
I will always ask. I do have a question. Whenever you rewatch or re-listen to Dungeon Crawler Carl, is it like
Chandler, fucking stop it! Holy shit!
Sorry, I don't know. I'm not talking. I didn't realize I did that when I was.
Every once in a while, I hear like a punch, and I'm like, the audience is gonna hate that.
I'm sorry. I can't. I'm eager to know what it sounds like.
It's kind of cool. I like it honestly.
I'm sure, but I'm sure that mom and like other viewers will not.
They're gonna think someone's knocking on the door, be like, "Hello."
But to just your question, Sky, yeah, there's so many things like brought up in like books 1 through 3 that aren't explained until like book 7 or 8. So like it's a lot of that I kind of like remember ish. But then you get like questions that are posed really early. And I can kind of be like, oh my God, that was brought up like this early, or like an ability that they get on like the second floor that they don't use until, I'm not going to say what floor, but like there is a lot that I can appreciate on the second listen. And especially with the characters, because you get introduced to so many characters very, very, very early that you learn nothing about for 3 to 4 books, and they show up and they're like the most important character in the series. I think it's really enjoyable. I am getting something out of it. Probably not enough to warrant listening to it as much as I am, but it's a nice comfort watch, listen, however you want to say it. So.
Okay, so I was curious because I've never re-listened to an audiobook, so I wasn't sure the re-listen value. So
it's good. It's also just like entertaining. Like it's funny, and a lot of times, like I probably haven't always been as locked in as I needed to be, and there are details that like I didn't like I started with the 3rd book like halfway through because that whole floor I did not really understand, and it helped me understand what was going on a little bit more listening again. So it was nice.
That's awesome. Zach,
Yes.
what have you been watching?
I watched one thing. I watched Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. on one of my days off. It was in the morning, and I was like, do I want to watch? I texted Trevor and I said, do I want to watch the movie I ended up watching or Masters of the Universe? And he said Sam Rockwell, because Sam Rockwell is the main character of this movie, and I liked it a lot. I was just going to read the my Letterboxd review of it, which was AI lovers will hate this movie. It was a lot of fun, but definitely had some problems. But I think it deserves a little bit more than that, because it was told in a very anthology-like way, which was very creative, and I thought that was really well done. But the story, there's a lot of it that isn't my favorite. And are you guys ever going to watch this movie? Because I might just straight up spoil it right now.
I've heard good things about it.
It's a good movie. I think the best part of this movie is that it's pretty funny. Like, I actually found myself laughing a lot during the movie, and it made me kind of like glaze over a lot of the plot stuff that I didn't like, just because I was having a good time while watching it. But the end kind of is either really bad or really good, depending on what you think about it. And I really don't like it personally. And I kind of want to say it, but I also think it will impact your viewing experience if you know about it. So do you guys...
I'm fine with hearing it personally.
So
Me as well.
The twist is that like the entire movie is a simulation. And I don't like it, because like the entire movie is about how AI is bad and how we should stop AI and stuff like that. And whenever they do the thing, you find out that the thing that they did was kind of fruitless, because it was always like already happening. It was like if the Matrix, instead of they escaped it, they were just always stuck in it, and the AI always like had them go through the effort of stopping the AI for the sake of keeping them in the trance, if that makes sense. Did I...
So like, was it the AI? Was he keeping the guy in a simulation, or was it simulating him going to do that to see how they could fight against it?
Yes, both. So like they're
okay.
I think that explains it well enough. But like the movie's still really funny. I just really don't like that, because like the entire message of the movie is that AI is bad, and then like I mean, I guess it's kind of like a sad ending where it's like
it's smarter than you and better than you, so why fight against it?
That's not what the point isn't. Why fight against it? It's just like there's nothing we can do, so we lost. That's kind of like what the movie ends off on, and I'm like, I don't think I like that.
I'm glad you told me that. I'm not gonna watch that now. Sorry.
No, it's completely understandable. I do like the presentation of... I thought it was really good right up until the end of the movie, because the presentation of the movie is really fun. I actually laughed in it, but then that end kind of really sucks. I'm sure that if you love AI, you're going to be punching the air the entire movie, though, because of how much they shit on it throughout the entire thing.
That's good. Well, I mean, it wins in the end, though.
Yeah, it does. It literally wins in the... That's what I'm saying. Like, it feels so weird, because you're like, oh... whatever, but they make a joke about like whatever. If you really hate AI, like I think there's aspects of the movie that you're gonna find really funny because of... it doesn't matter. Glazing over it. If you want to watch it, go watch it. I think I did a fine enough explaining. If you think that's interesting, then go watch it. I'm gonna forego the rest of my what we watching, just because there's a piece of news that is so important that I genuinely am upset at myself for forgetting to talk about it. So every game and their mom is refusing to release in November because of GTA 5. They're either releasing a month before, 2 months before, or 2 months afterwards, because they're scared. It's all like everything's coming out in September. There's 100 billion games coming out in September, except for one that was confident enough to release in November alongside GTA. Arguably might be the best game of the year, and arguably will beat GTA as a most fun game of the year. Without an argue, it is going to be my favorite game of the year. It is a remaster of Godzilla Destroy All Monsters that's coming out in November. It is the Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee. I think that's the name of it. I might be saying it wrong, but they're remastering this game from the GameCube, and it's a peak video game, and it's going to be amazing. I'm very excited for it, and it has the cojones to release in the same month as GTA 6. I think that's just... Come on, it's so good.
Who else but Godzilla?
Yeah. Godzilla. My goat. Has the balls. I'm proud of him. Alright. I'm sure you guys are all like very excited for that, but are we ready to toss it over to our boy? Okay.
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Sky, what have you been watching? That's pretty good.
Mine's a very, very, very short list. We watched like a little bit more of New Girl. They changed the intro. It's getting to the point where it's like same problem, same solution. Schmidt does something funny. Like that formula is starting to really get to me. And okay, one actual pet peeve I didn't think I was going to get onto, but now I'm kind of thinking about it. They make Schmidt this like super clean freak, right? And then they make an episode where he doesn't know how to do laundry. I refuse that. I refuse to believe that. I don't care how comical it's supposed to be. I refuse. I refuse that.
Makes stuff dry clean. I don't know.
That is, yeah, but there's no way the clean freak does not know how to use a washing machine.
Funny.
For the bit, man, just don't think about it too hard.
I tried, but it was an entire episode, and it made me mad every single time. I mean, I like the joke that he strained the soap, but like, come on. Yeah, but and aside from that, I'm on now season 2 of Mystery Incorporated for Scooby-Doo, which is so good. And then obviously I watched Obsessed. And then Chan, I watched another episode of ReZero. I picked it back up to watch one episode, and then I was like, man, this season 2 still is not that great. And then I stopped.
How far are you into it?
Let me check.
How many episodes are in that season? I forget.
I don't know, because they're like the 40-minute ones. They're like the double episodes. So they're like, they're really long.
I'm not gonna lie, you gotta wait till you're like 3/4 through before like it actually picks up. Because you're right, it's just so slow.
I'm on episode 12 of that second. Oh wait, I'm like on 12 of 13 before.
I zoned out for a second because I was answering texts. What show are you talking about? Mystery Incorporated?
Oh my god, man, I'm on season 1. Oh no.
What is it? Sorry,
you're still on season 1?
Yeah, season 1.
Oh, ReZero. Okay. Yeah, I have heard that's slow.
Yeah. But yeah, season, well, at least this is how it has it. Episode 12, but they're like the 40-minute one. So it's like instead of being actually 12, it's like 20.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually 13, but it's like 26. It's so slow. And then my last one was I started Chainsaw Man for the 3rd time again, and I think I am dropping it again. I still just don't have any interest. I've watched that first episode like 4 or 5 times now, and I just...
Things with uncomfortable subject matter might be uncomfortable to watch. Who would have thought?
No, not even that. It's just like I just am not interested. Like that's just it. I'm just not interested.
I don't know. I don't like that.
And like I keep trying. I know it's really good.
Grooming.
I know it's really good. I can't get into it. I like. I don't know if it's just me right now. Like I have such a little desire to start anything new right now. So maybe it's me.
I think its movie got gypped. I think it should have won.
I agree with that. Demon Slayer should not have won.
Was really good.
Demon Slayer was not even a good movie.
I'm a low-key D1 hater of the movie. I feel like it was a lot of fighting and not a lot of running.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Demon Slayer or Chainsaw Man?
Demon Slayer.
Okay, I still haven't watched that. I was talking about Chainsaw Man. I thought that was like one of the best anime movies.
I agree. I'm saying it didn't win anime movie.
Yeah, no, I was agreeing with you.
Oh, sorry. I took...
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. But yeah, I was saying Chainsaw Man.
There it is. Yeah, there it is.
That's awesome.
Demon Slayer movie was just so disappointing to me because it was 3 hours long and like it just was paced so terribly. It was barely a movie. There was like no like actual story except for the last 20 minutes of the movie when I just wanted to leave, dude. Like the movie's done. I don't want to see this. I don't care. And then it was really funny.
Yeah, is it out yet? It's not even out yet, is it?
Not on streaming, I don't think. No.
Okay. I've been waiting for that.
Yeah. I saw that movie with 2 coworkers from ADP, and one of them was like in the same boat as me, and we were like, man, animation was pretty in that movie, but that was way too long and boring. And the other one was like, dude, holy shit. This was his first anime thing he's like ever watched. He was like, holy shit, dude. Like that was so deep. he was like talking to us about it, and he was like, dude, like Tanjiro's point of view, he's such a nice guy, and like Akaza, he's actually very relatable to like a crazy degree, because in his past life he was a good guy. And I was like, oh my god, dude, like come
It's
come
his
on.
birth.
I know.
You gotta get some grace.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Dude, did
Yeah.
he ever watch the other previous Demon
No.
Slayers?
No.
That's stupid. That's stupid. Oh my
It was his favorite
god.
thing. You didn't know.
I
Can't
know.
blame him. Gotta give some
He
grace.
just watched the movie and nothing else.
He like
Demon
that's like
Slayer.
literally watching like Infinity War before
Yeah.
watching any of the previous stuff.
Well, me and this other guy were gonna go see it because we like Demon Slayer, and he just was like, "I'll come along." And we were like, "Sure, man."
Also, good on him for that, for
Yeah.
being that open-minded and just like being down to do whatever.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
respect
Yeah.
him. He
It's chill.
he also
Maybe that
is
made
the
him
same
series.
guy that full on misinterpreted obsession like in a very bad way. Because we were talking to him about it, and he was like, "Dude, Nick, you're good, Chandler. I won't say anything that spoils it." He was like, "Dude, Nikki's so crazy, man. Like, why was she acting like that? Like, that's wild. That's crazy." Actual quote from that guy.
Dude, maybe he's spitting. Maybe we're all wrong.
Yeah, dude.
No.
I just think his like I just don't think he thinks that much
That's a
when
dangerous opinion to
It's
have.
a very
I'm
dangerous
sorry.
opinion, yes. I just think he doesn't think very much when watching things. That's what I've discovered about that.
My favorite thing to come out of actually I don't want to say that. One of my favorite things to come out of like that movie is all like the spoilers with no context. And it's just random clips from random things, and most of them are SpongeBob. It's hilarious.
I like the memes that are like, if it was me in that situation for real, and it was like, man, I really fumbled that. I wish Daft Punk was still together.
Sorry, Shannon, like you're in this, but like there's really no spoilers.
Ruby not spoiled a word.
It'll make sense. It makes sense, I suppose.
That meme that killed me so hard, because that's actually me
It's
for
just
real,
like
bro.
You Daft
Yeah. And he goes, yeah.
That has nothing to do with the movie.
It's so
Posting
good.
memes afterwards.
It's so good, bro. Oh god. Oh my god, I forgot to
Right,
say
but
the
that's,
main problem with Backrooms.
come
Kanye West wasn't in it, and all of the lights didn't play as a PNG of his face ran at you.
All of the lights.
All of the lights. Alright, continue, Skylar. Sorry.
All right. That's all I got. So if you stuck around, thanks. That was a real ramble here at the end. But you got a mini review of Obsession, and you got what we thought about the Backrooms. So let us know what you thought about either of them down below. If Zach's crazy, if Austin's crazy, if I'm crazy, if Chan's crazy, Scout's awesome. Anything, let us know. But anything you do, we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So anything you do, like, comment, subscribe, share, even just watching the video the whole way to the end, it helps a lot, and we greatly appreciate it. Next week is Dunkirk?
Yes, Dunkirk, yeah.
Yes, Dunkirk. Awesome. Yeah, so if you like that, stick around, see what we say next week. Hopefully we'll have all 5. I think we will. But who knows? We can hope. But thanks for sticking around this far.
Yeah, it's
We'll see you next
almost
time.
3 hours. This is 2 hours and 40 minutes, and a lot of it was
Yeah,
me
I'm sorry.
rambling about the show of the movie we're talking about, and not the movie itself. So I apologize for everyone who just did not care about the first 30 minutes of the podcast, because that must have really sucked for you guys. I was gonna say some other shit. Damn, I don't remember what it was, because I thought that was funny. Damn it. It's most likely my opinions that are going to get torn apart this time, because I'm sure that no one's going to like my Obsession opinions. And then obviously we didn't talk about Kanye West, so that's a big deal. But yeah, thank you guys for staying all the way to the end of the podcast. I know this was a long one, but yeah, we'll see you guys next week with Dunkirk. It's Zach's ball knowledge continued, except this is the only Christopher Nolan movie I haven't seen, so it's not really ball knowledge. All right, we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Have a great time.